Welcome to the Just Being Frank Show, the realest sports talk show on YouTube, giving fans a real-life perspective on sports and entertainment.
You knew better, you do better. Who do it better? Get top of the morning, afternoon, night, depending on where you at. It's the Pup, your host, that do the most. Welcome to the Just Being Frank Show. Hey, listen, man. Caitlin Clark, you ain't gonna say, listen, I'm gonna say something. You ain't gonna say nothing? I'm gonna say something. Yeah, I got to. I gotta hold it down. I gotta continue to hold it down because these bitches, they don't quit. They don't quit with the narrative, pushing the race baiting, the toxicity of Caitlin Clark's fan base. Oh, I'm so fed up. Oh, man, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You're not gonna want to miss this episode. And it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And the WNBA is the gift that keeps on giving. But I don't want this type of gift. I really don't. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. We still talking this talk from every angle. And look, I'm seeing a pattern. It's like when one person gets sent to say something, somebody else follows up with saying the same thing, and somebody else follows up with having the same sentiments as the other two. Because where did we hear it first? We've been hearing her fan base is toxic, all this racist, right? We've been hearing that. But who just came out and said it first? And I know Stephanie White, I think she echoed it. She said, yeah, it's the toxicity or something. But it was somebody right before Stephanie Metheny White that said something. If you know in the chat, let me know who it was. But you had that person say that fans racist, toxic. Then you had Stephanie Metheny White come right after and say, oh, yeah, the toxicity in the league now. Oh, my God. And now you have this unknown person right on Sue Bird's podcast, why I titled Sue Bird Disrespects, because Sue Bird, that's your podcast, and you put out what you want to put out. You vet these people. Usually, when people sit down and have an interview, they usually vet the people they interviewing on what it is, the questions, kind of questions I'm going to be asking, what we're going to be talking about, so on and so forth. And sometimes they already have an established relationship to where they already having just a regular conversation about said topics, right? So I'm sure this isn't Sue Bird's first time, or this isn't Sue Bird's first time hearing this girl speak this way. I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar they didn't have this conversation ongoing, right? And so I'm gonna bring that up. We're gonna play that clip of that. We're gonna play Fly Hippie. Shout out to Fly Hippie, BDP, Rachel Demita, Mick Talk Sports, man. Shout out to y'all. I've been consuming your content. Yeah, I've been consuming. But oh my goodness, I'm finna fire up a real good show for us. Okay? I'm gonna make sure to fire on all cylinders. And CC, today, I just got your back 100% today. I'm not even going to go in on nothing about you not saying nothing. You should say something, so on and so forth. This is all Caitlin Clark. I got your back. Just sit back. The Pope is here. It's time to be very frank. All right. Shout out to AW, first in here in the building, commenting. That's what I love to see out the gate. Again, Super Chat is open. Donate to the channel. Hit the like button if you can't donate to the channel, and share the video. Let these people know that we up and at it. Because I want to see Fly Hippie come through here. I'm going to actually drop the link. Because I want to hear from the people too. Are y'all tired of this as well as I'm tired of this? Because it's nuts that we still keep going over and through this. I'm going to play a video from Fly Hippie he showed today where it was an insider who spoke on how Caitlin was playing, how she looked, since USA Basketball didn't really put it out there, right? We only seen Caitlin getting cooked. We didn't see Caitlin cooking, though. And I'm sure just as well as Kate, we already know that's her weakness, is defense. So I'm sure, listen, she gonna get baskets put on her. She playing against the best women in the world per se, right? Not that that's a lot, but she playing against the best talent when it comes to women's basketball. And she ain't played since June. No excuses. She's not that good on defense. I heard Robin Lundberg. Shout out to Robin Lundberg, too. He tried to give her an excuse for that popcorn machine page put on her. And I'm like, oh, she really wasn't guarding her. Oh, what else could she have done? What was she supposed? Well, let me learn you something. And for anybody who was listening to Robin, he's dead wrong. I love Robin Lundberg. God love, no disrespect. None whatsoever. Love your work. Keep doing your content. But you don't mislead the people. If you're going to speak on basketball, you need to know basketball. You can be cool with all the other shit, but when you get to speaking basketball, please know the game of basketball. I don't care what your credentials, who you work for, coach, I don't give 2 cents. When I hear somebody say that was good defense, what else could she have done? I'm like, oh, this motherfucker don't know no basketball at all. Because one-on-one basketball defense, when you closing out on the shooter, you run them off the three, but you do not leave your feet. So, yeah, even if the rebound came forward and you chase him down trying to get there, you ball, hands to the face. And you want to turn and box out. You want to close out, they shoot, turn, box them out so they can't get their own rebound. This is what we learned since grade school. And the reason being, you don't leave your feet because you don't want to have them had a potential open three, right? There's a couple reasons. Here's rule number one is you don't want to foul a shooter at the three-point line. So we don't want to jump, and the likelihood of you blocking a jump shot is unlikely, especially if you're a guard. Now, so we don't want to draw a foul and send them shooting three, and you pick up a foul. It don't matter. You picking up a foul, we got a team foul. Now they get to go shoot three, and that's the easier three-point shot than the distance he was taking the regular three-point shot. You understand? And for two, very important, for two, you don't want them to go from having an open three to pump faking you and you leaving your feet and they go straight to the basket and get an easy two. Okay? I'd rather live with the shot. As long as you close out and box out the shooter, I can live with the miss or make. I'd rather take them making it, hey, you closed out right, you did your job right, smooth. Hey, we got to live with that one. Right? Then you getting off your feet and they go into the hole and, draw another defender and they drop a dime, somebody get an easy layup. The tougher percentage is that three-point shot. So if they open for the three, we're going to close out properly, box out properly. Okay? That's just for that. So she did. She got cooked. Period. Ain't no saving that. All right, it is what it is. No biggie. And the thing, when they try to run that narrative, I believe it was an Indie Insider who tried to downplay Caitlin's game or try to be funny, like Kelsey was out there. Kelsey Plum was out there cooking Caitlin, and it was so exciting and funny to see Caitlin trying to guard Kelsey. Like, don't nobody give a fuck that Caitlin came. She's not a lockdown defender. She's an all-time best we've ever seen offensive player all around. She can do everything offensively. So if she's lacking in the defense department a little bit, we gotta live with that. It doesn't take away from her dominance as a player and as a winner. Not at all. So it's just a mute point that y'all keep trying to, you're trying to just take a jab at her any way you can. And this is from an Indie Insider, I believe, which I'm going to pull that up too. But it's bullshit. that y'all keep trying to, oh, she wasn't really playing good defense. Oh, she got to work on her defense. I never hear them talk like this when it comes to Steph Curry or other dominant offensive players, right? Just pure dominance, but not so much. Like Carmelo Anthony wasn't really a good defensive player, but he was crazy offensively. He wasn't no bum on the defensive end, and neither is Caitlin. She ain't no bum on the defensive end. She just, that ain't her strong suit, and she will get cooked here and there, okay? It's basketball, all right? Had no problem with that. So, but that Indie Insider, she seemed like she was low-key hating for real on Caitlin, and that's the problem. It just seemed like it won't stop. It won't stop from the bottom to the top. All right. Now, listen, shout out to Philip in the building. In the basketball, there is no one better than you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. I know my basketball. That's one thing, you know, I might have low-scored SATs or something if I took it. I don't know. I might not be the sharpest tool in the toolbox. Yeah, but neither here nor there. But when it comes to this here ball, man, we know the game. All right, man. Let's bring up some. Ooh, I'm trying to wait till more people get in before I bring up the videos that I'm gonna react to, because I'm telling you, it's about to go down in a different way. Because my goodness, man, I gotta bring up the audience that y'all drew. I have to bring that to the forefront too. The audience that you drew before Caitlin Clark came, which is no audience. And so the audacity for y'all to even talk about a person that brought an audience that made y'all notable players, noticeable, notable, quotable people. The fact that you could even fix your face to say anything about the very person and fan base that has made this stage a place to play, where you fucks can get paid. But it's no way you're going to be here to stay. Now, with that attitude, now with that level of thinking, that's why you're going down the wayside. Yeah. You're going down the wayside now. You know, Caitlin, I'm sad to say, baby, I seen this coming from a mile away, baby, that you was going to get locked out and you wasn't going to be able to play, baby. I put it in the Caitlin's coming for you. I already knew this was coming for you. Which, hey, yeah, there's no more basketball for Caitlin, I think, except for the Olympics, people. And I don't even think you should play in the Olympics, Caitlin. Like, hey, unfortunately, Caitlin, there's only one you. There's only one you. That's the gift and the curse. Because if it was more than one you would have a place to play. You would have a career. The fact that it's only one you, so people tired of it being them. See, the powers that be, they understand it's only one you, and they ain't you. So fuck the fans. They understand, yo, we can't invest in all of this, all that, and we only got her. It's just her. Shout out to BDP in the building. It's just her. So how can we invest in just one player for 200 and some players? And when we've been already losing Makes no sense. So, Caitlyn, unfortunately, it's only one you. And the fact that these women don't know how to capitalize off of you and capitalize and rise to the occasion of the Caitlyn Clark effect. Equation? I should have used equation. I could have used equation. Right? Because you the math. The math maths with you. You're the math. You're the equation. I use that right, chat? Yeah, but again, this game is about to go away. But I see we getting more in. I'm trying to chit chat because I can't wait to bring up these videos. I can't wait to time. We are finna destroy them. You understand? We are the Pope. I am about to destroy these efforts. So listen, I hope you got your listening caps on. I mean, your thinking caps and your listening ears on. Because this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Now, first, before I bring up the hate, let's bring up the love. Let's bring up the love, right? Hold on, where's the love? Fly Hippie gave me some love. All right, let's bring up some love. Bring up Fly Hippie. Shout out to him. Let's bring up some love. He talks about Caitlyn getting some love, which is very rare. It's very rare for us to hear and see Caitlyn get some love from some folks. But we got an insider who was there and kind of basically tells us Caitlyn was cooking. In a sense, I kind of didn't take it like that, but I took it like she was being positive, right? She was speaking positively about Caitlyn's game and what she's seen. Now, I don't know who none of these people are, so apologies, except for my guy Fly. But this one here in the middle, she's the insider. Now, listen, we got to prejudge people. Yeah, we got to profile. We got to profile people. Yep. This looks right here, this face looks like a very serious, professional, innocent face. She looks like an honest person. She looks like, hey, I ain't black, I ain't white, I ain't none of that, but she definitely knows the chaoticness, right? That's behind Caitlyn Clark. She definitely understands the weird shit that goes on, the agendas that get pushed towards Caitlyn Clark. She's unbiased in it all. She ain't white or black. She has no fight, no dog in the fight, right? She's just a reporter or whatever she is. She's a professional. You can tell. Look at her ear pods. They potted. Her ear pods is potted. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. She looks ready, okay, to say the truth. Let's listen.
Camp, and she was giving us all the details about Caitlyn and Kelsey, what was going down with Caitlyn and the bigs, without playing with Aaliyah Boston at times. It's some pretty good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it right now.
Then in their very near future. And we wrote about that on the site, just like how people have been perceiving the negotiations and what still affects them and what they're thinking about with regards to the new collective bargaining agreement. But for now, just good time at camp, 3 days in North Carolina, a little snow on one of the days, just a little taste of the winter in the South. But
right.
Yeah, it was interesting just to see what Carol lost.
Hold on. BDP, who pushes the agendas? This lady, the innocent lady? The professional? BDP, don't tell me my judgment was wrong. My assessment, shout out to AB in the building. Love you. My assessment, so you mean to tell me my assessment of that innocent professional face? I was wrong, BDP? Pope, she pushes those agendas. She works at the Athletic, pushes the CC versus AR stuff. Oh, hey, look, some players mess up. Sometimes sometimes I get it wrong.
And is prioritizing in terms of how she wants to make her imprint on this program. And just fun to like see the players in a live game situation again, because you think about like Caitlin hasn't played since July 15th. You know,
Yes.
there are 4 sparks
Yes.
of this camp. Their season ended on September 11th, right? So it's been a long time since any of them have really played competitive basketball. You know, you saw some situations where like Caitlin's stuck guarding Kelsey, and Kelsey's, you know, knocking her off the ball, and Caitlin gets called for a foul, and she starts yelling at the refs like, she's grabbing me. And all of the coaches from
All the coaches start laughing, is what she about to say. Now, see, listen, okay. Shout out to Truth. Shout out to Truth in the building. Donnie Does Dishes is in the building. Okay, so listen. What I pull up yesterday when Kelsey was playing defense on the man, guarding that man, whoever the man was, the body that was out there, that was a male figure. And she put her stomach all into him while he was in triple threat position, right? He in triple threat position. And she run all up on him, stomach out. And I'm like, yeah, that's a foul, lady. You can't do that. That's silly. And he just moved her off and went around. But, yeah, so to hear her say that too, right here, when Caitlin get to complaining to the refs, right, and I'm sure by this time she's had it up to here, right? So it could take less for her to go nuts on the refs. But you got referees here at USA camp during scrimmage. We already seen Caitlin get double teamed by De'Erica Hamby and Kelsey Plum, right? And you heard Caitlin say, hey, when she pushed off and then she dropped a dime to what's her name, because they holding her and grabbing her and they ain't calling nothing. So do you notice how she said Caitlin went to grab it and hold it, which I've been saying for the longest. Shout out to Pete in the building. I've been saying this. I'm going to drop the link too. I hope a lot of y'all come up so we can have a lot of these good discussions about Caitlin Clark's future with basketball, not just the WNBA, but in basketball in general. We got to have these discussions. But damn it, I was just having a discussion. Now I forgot about the discussion I was just having because I got off track, but I'm back home. So here it is. They having a scrimmage. Caitlin is getting same thing, double team, grabbed and shit, I'm sure, and it's not getting called. Shit, so she goes ahead and grabs Kelsey, from what it sounds like this girl is saying. Now, I don't know if I can trust her. BDP saying, yeah, hey, she one of those. But she's saying Caitlin go to grabbing Kelsey Plum, which we've seen Caitlin play defense. She don't do the grabbing. She don't do the grabbing and pulling. I wish she would, because that's when I'll be like, hey, they do it to you, do it to them. Grab their ass. Fuck it. They call a foul on you. Just know you got footage of, hey, they doing the same thing to me. You're not calling it. They're doing the shit to me. You letting them get away with it. So I'm feeling this how you calling the game, sir, ma'am. So she just said, Caitlin doing that, and they calling it, and Caitlin is telling the refs, yo, they doing the shit to me, right? What I'm saying right here, right now. But she don't really do that in the real games. But let's go back. I want to go back so y'all can hear that about her and the Kelsey Plum.
Right. So it's been a long time since any of them have really played competitive basketball. You know, you saw some situations where like Caitlin's stuck guarding Kelsey, and Kelsey's, you know, knocking her off the ball, and Caitlin gets called for a foul, and she starts yelling at the refs like, she's grabbing me. And all of the coaches from WNBA teams who were sitting there
gets knocked off the ball, and they calling fouls on Caitlin, but Caitlin's getting knocked off the ball, and then Caitlin responded, but she grabbing me.
watching or just cracking up.
And
Kelsey
the
had one
coaches
situation.
is just watching, cracking up. Now, let me tell you why this is a major issue. This is a major, major issue to me. And this is how I know everybody's against CC. Because when we practice it, when I'm going to practice, I'm talking in my experience, I want you to learn how to move your feet, play defense, especially when we practice in defense. Let me learn you something. I want you to move your feet so you can learn how to be quicker moving your feet, right? I will show you angles, how to open up your hips, so on and so forth. Cut off this person here, force them to their offhand here, so on and so forth. If you get to grabbing, bumping, during the scrimmage, burp, hey, yo, what the fuck are we doing? Now, if we going hard like a 3-on-3 session, a king of the court, 2-on-2, so no fouls. 21, you got to play through contact. It's certain times in my practices where no calls, play through contact, but that don't mean purposely just foul and take cheap shots, but just play hard, play tough. Don't cry about nothing. Play through it, right? But if we scrimmaging like in this scenario to where they just trying to see who look good with who comfortable with who, so on and so forth, we're just trying to get up and down. So I'm like, yo, you up here grabbing and pulling on Caitlin for what? If I'm coaching, I'm tripping. Stop doing it. I'm at least correcting. I'm not laughing, because what if you end up injuring him? Because you goofing off in practice. What if you end up injuring him? And this is one of my main players, and you just constantly grabbing, pulling, whatever you doing, to the point where she got to complain to the referees at practice, and the coaches is laughing. Come on, man. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Situation where she sort of finished
She
through
think that shit funny as hell. Look how wide her smile got.
traffic. She'd been struggling a little bit, got through to the hoop, just like yells right in like Becky Hammon and Nikki Fargas's face, and they're just like cracking up, like classic Kelsey.
Right. Stirring it up. I love that. I love that you could see the storylines continue from the W season into this camp. And I want to particularly hit on two things that you wrote about, just Caitlin Clark being back on the court. You also got a quote out of Sue Bird about her being impressed with Caitlin just being engaged while she was out and getting back to being able to play. A little bit about what Caitlin looked like on the court, how much fun she was having, how important it was. And then someone else, Angel Reese on the other side, talking about Chicago. That was the article I was not expecting.
Yeah, so we'll start with Caitlin. Obviously, she suffered a lot of just a bevy of injuries in her sophomore season, played her last game on July 15th, even before All-Star weekend. This was her first real 5-on-5 action since that injury with the fever. And it was a combination of like USA players going against USA players, and then also USA players going against the scout team, which was players from small colleges all across North Carolina sort of helping out with that scout team practice. And, she, like Caitlin, right? Like the step back three was there, the passes were there. When she was not playing with Aaliyah Boston, some of the bigs didn't know what to do with their passes. Like there was one time where she passed it to Hamby, and Hamby like brought the ball down. It's like, you can't do that. Like this is not, you have to keep it up, right?
Straight up, right.
Just like not expecting, where that was coming. But FIBA, naturally, just a lot more physical than other levels of basketball, even more physical than the WNBA, which is, something to be said considering all the conversations we had about that level of physicality during this 2025 season. So having to see Caitlin like go at scout team players who were, instructed to play at a FIBA level of physicality was interesting considering how long she's been out and the fact that she's still ramping up injury wise, but she looked good. She was just like so happy to be there.
Now again, right here, like, what do you mean? You're not playing FIBA until next year, 2027. So, like he said in the beginning, Caitlin ain't played since June. These other players ain't played in a month or two. And they come from the most, you talking about FIBA's more physical. FIBA's more, I doubt it. I doubt they playing. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, because I don't call WNBA physical. I call it dirty basketball. It's dirty play. It's a lot of dirty play and unorthodox and uncoordinated players that run into each other. They take cheap shots all day. They get away with all the BS because the refereeing is all over the place, right? So I'm sure FIBA is more tight refs. They call in more calls than they do in the WNBA. I'm sure you're not just getting away with grabbing and pulling. I'm sure if they tried to do that shit with Caitlin, they'd get caught for it. So when you say physical, okay, I don't think that they were stronger because they got a lot of, which I don't buy that neither, because they got 18-year-olds. You can be 16 and play for your country, for different countries. Them 16-year-old girls ain't developed like these grown-ass women. Them 17, 18, like Lamanga or Demanga or whatever her name is, who's light as a feather. She been playing on her Olympic team for a while when she was 16, 17 years old. So that's happening. So don't give me this. It's more physical and FIBA, so they getting ready and they allowing the physicality on Caitlin Clark, I bet. Which she thought was shocking because Caitlin Clark just came back from an injury and woo-de-wah-woo. Yeah, it is shocking. And again, this shit is all bullshit. It's nuts.
And like was individually like telling media members how nice it was just to like talk to them again. Like that she was just part of the basketball process, even if that includes all of these other responsibilities.
So there you have it.
That's funny too, though, that she would even be happy to talk to the reporters, and because why would she be happy? Because she was silenced, I felt like, all season about that injury. They made sure no reporters, that Caitlin Clark wouldn't talk to no reporters, and no reporters would talk to Caitlin Clark. All season, she wasn't able to say shit until the exit interview, and she still really kind of tucked her tongue on a lot of issues, and she kind of, I tell you, I'm not going to get on Caitlin right now, but she still didn't say much. Let's just say that, even in her exit interview. Her being left in limbo, not knowing what's going on, so on and so forth, just a bunch. So she was happy to find she didn't got the shackles took off of her mouth. They say, you can speak now. You can speak now. You can talk. The reporters going to want to talk to you for sure. Everybody else going to be talking to them, so that'd be crazy. There's no way we cannot let you talk to them no more. So you're open to speak. As soon as Caitlin got to speak, what did she say? Yo, we need to be playing basketball. She said, yo, we need to be playing basketball. Okay? And all of this negotiating tooth and nail, acting like y'all are the reason. This is to act as if y'all are the reason that everything went up, numbers went up, attendance, viewership, even when I wasn't playing. The fact that I entered your league, that's why she is white cheesing, because I don't even have to be playing, ma'am. And I can make people tune in to you. Not make people, but people are just so invested in Caitlin Clark, enamored with Caitlin Clark, that, they keeping up with the rest of what's going on around Caitlin Clark. So it doesn't matter that she wasn't playing. Your numbers still look okay because I was around. Just from me being around. From whether it's the Indiana Fever or just even the finals. Because people have been following this. This is easy, or it should be. People have been watching all season long. Caitlin Clark fans. Caitlin Clark fans been watching Indiana Fever, whether Caitlin was playing or not, all season long. Which means they got to watch every team they played against. Right? Follow me. They got every team they played against. The rankings or the standings going up and down, Fever up and down. They lose 3 games, win 5 games. Lose 2 games, Look good 1 minute, look terrible the next. Look good one, look terrible. It was up and down roller coaster. People paying attention to what's going on all around the league. Because why? Not because we have an agenda. We're here for a certain reason. No, because we like basketball. We already invested in Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever and what they're doing. So we are also, not all of us, not every Caitlin Clark fan, but a lot of us still will go and watch a Sparks versus Aces, this versus that, or that versus this, and to see what's the outcome. Now, again, when she's gone in the playoffs, people have been so invested all season long, we might as well see who wins this thing, right? So that's why your numbers still look good with the million viewership, even when we play with Caitlin. Yeah, but without Caitlin being in this league, period, we won't know who y'all are. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't be watching at all if she never joined at all. If she went to, let's say she went overseas. Right now, we wouldn't know who A'ja Wilson is. Right now, we wouldn't know who De'Arica Hamby is. Right now, we wouldn't know who Kelsey Mitchell is. Right now, we wouldn't know who almost any of y'all are. If Caitlin said, I'm not going to WNBA, I'm going over, we would know everybody over there. We'd know their names before we know yours. We wouldn't know who Sophie Cunningham was. We wouldn't know. We only know Veronica Burton and Brianna Jones. We only know them because we watched Caitlin Clark play against all of y'all. We keep up with what's going on around her. That's how much invested we are in Caitlin Clark. So you idiots that think that, oh, see, she wasn't even playing. Ha! And look at those numbers. You're a fucking idiot. Yeah, the numbers going to be there now, dummy. Because Caitlin Clark is around, dummy. The fuck is wrong with y'all? It's simple mathematics. Again, I'm gonna bring up the y'all how many attendance, what y'all was getting before Caitlin came in effect. But now let's go over. Let's creep on over to my Twitter and pull up Sue Bird and this toxicity that they want to keep on trying to drive home to people for some odd reason. For some odd reason. They want to keep on keeping on with this race baiting, this calling everybody racist and toxic. And meanwhile, they really talking about Caitlin Clark and trying to throw dirt on her name and smut on her name. And this is retarded. It's pure evil.
I feel like we during the WNBA this season, I feel like we sort of had one of those particular growing pains where it's like some of the people that are coming in and watching the sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. And now they've found maybe one player to hyper fixate on that they feel stands at odds with what a WNBA player is in their minds. And they sort of maybe one player to hyper fixate on the WNBA this season.
Did y'all peep how it kind of like it edit, like it cut after she said one player? Did it cut to something else? Let's peep it out. Let's peep it out.
They're there for a weird reason. And now they've found sort of maybe one player to hyper fixate on that they feel stands at odds with what a WNBA.
I don't know why it's not letting me. Hold on, man. Why is it not letting me pause? What the fuck?
Love that they want to have against the rest of the league. And we sort of had this moment where the rest of the fans had to go like, you paid the same money for your.
Oh, they're not letting me pause, but that's all right. Did y'all see Sue Bird's face laughing? This is the head of USA. Let's go, man. Goodness. I'm gonna let it play.
people that are coming in and
Let's
watching the
convert.
sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. And now they've found sort of maybe one player to hyper fixate on that they feel stands at odds with what a WNBA player is in their minds. And they passionately love that player in a way that actually just feels like it's hate being disguised as love that they want to have against the rest of the league. And we sort of had this moment where the rest of the fans had to go like, you paid the same money for your ticket and you being here is also helpful to the sport. And that's a really difficult thing to do. They had no sort of reverence for the fact that, like, buddy, this conversation's been going on without you for years and years and years. And now you come in here and just think that you can, because you love this one player and this one player is very good. She's very, very good. And like, I would love to just openly love them. Those are the types of moments that as a women's sports fan, I like really bristle against, where I'm just like, I hate that we have to go through this, but we do have to go through this. This is the growth period.
Can you imagine? I'm so mad I couldn't pause. Let me go back one more time.
During the WNBA this season, I feel like we sort of had one of those particular growing pains where it's like some of the people that are coming in and watching the sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. And now
thank you. God, I can pause. Oh, we're here for a weird reason. Let me let that marinate. We're here for a weird reason. What might that be? I'm trying to wreck my brain around like what I could see if like Kaylin had big boobs, fat ass, looked like a fucking like Sharon Stone in her hay, you know, looked like Pam Anderson with boobs and cake. She ain't got that. She don't look bad. She got a little cake too, but she ain't got no donkey booty. She ain't got no cheeks. You understand me? And she ain't flat, but she ain't double D's, you know. And she ain't ugly, but she ain't fine. Now, Kaylin is gorgeous. Her swag, her aura makes her gorgeous. But like, what do you mean? What weird reason? What are you talking about? I don't get what she's talking about right now. I'm stuck. I'm confused. When she said that, I'm trying to figure out, what do you mean? What a weird reason? What does she have in her mind? I'm trying to get in her mind. Well, because it makes no sense to us. Of course. What is she thinking when she's saying this? What weird reason? And she tried to be funny while she's like comical, right? And it's like, who are you, first of all? Who the fuck is you? Can you introduce yourself? What is your credentials and what anything? Who is you to be talking about Cece? And so, again, to me, Caitlin Clark, baby, do you be hearing this? How do you feel when you hear this shit? Are you like us? Are you appalled? Are you dumbfounded? Are you disheartened? It's like, like, what? My fans are the only reason this league is relevant. My fans is the only fans. You might as well call the WNBA the OF. They need to subscribe with OnlyFans, because Caitlin Clark is your OnlyFans. Unless you hoes is naked on OnlyFans. Before Caitlyn, y'all just had OnlyFans. When you go from A'ja Wilson being number one in All-Star voting and only having 75,000 votes, and then the next year Caitlyn comes into the league, she has 600,000 plus. So what that means is, let me learn you something. Fucking idiots. Since Caitlyn brought more eyes, right? And this is what I was just explaining to my daughter, who's 12. Shout out to Franielle. She's the best. This is what I was just explaining to her in the car. I was taking her to color guard. She doing color guard, y'all. I'm so excited. It's her first year doing color guard. She doing winter guard, competition level color guard. So it's gonna be, she got the flags flying and shit. Yeah, I can't wait. But neither here nor there. I was talking to her, I was telling her, because we was going over I think BDP podcast where he was explaining this hatred right here, this stupidity right here. And I'm like, listen, daughter, let's say you in the league, right? I explained it to my 12-year-old daughter. I said, let's say you in the league. And what number would you like to be if you was playing ball? He said, number 1. I said, all right, bet. You was nice, but not nice enough to draw an audience, right? But you professional, you all of that good stuff. And Caitlin Clark comes with this big old audience and fan base, and she plays against you. You play good against her, you ball out, she balls out. Now, people who didn't know you before, who all came to watch Caitlin, I said, guess who else they seen ball out? She said, me. I said, right. And from there, you either win over people or you lose people, depending on what you do next, or if you haven't done nothing before to draw no attention to yourselves negatively or whatever, right? Say nobody know you starting out. They just see number one out there hooping. Who is number 1? Oh, she going, her and Caitlin. Okay, number 1 is nice. Oh, who the Pope? Oh, that's her name, Pope. Oh, yeah, I like Pope. And then Pope goes to the podium at the end of the game and sounds professional and lovable and relatable. Guess what? I asked my daughter, guess what Pope gains? She says, fans. I said, bing, bing, bing. I'm so glad you're not one of them. Oh, Lord, I'm so glad you're not one of them. She's 12. She understands. And I told her, guess what? When you get more fans, guess what that do for you? That boosts your bank account. Because the more fans you get, they start to go buy your jersey. They start to go support you. And every time they buy your jersey, you get a percentage of when people go buy your jersey. So it's actually important that you know how to attract fans and keep fans engaged, not just on what you do on the court, but also off the court. And if you see a fan base large as Caitlin Clark's, the last thing you want to do is rub them the wrong way. The last thing you want to do is fuck off your money. All because of what? Because she white? You willing to fuck off your money, your green, because somebody is white? So we can't look at, oh, thanks to Caitlin Clark fans, thanks to the fans Caitlin Clark has brought to the WNBA, that now we are going to be able to be more successful, more notable. We are now going to be treated like professionals if we act like professionals. People will look at us now like professional basketball players if we carry ourselves as such if we go about handling our business as such, on the court, off the court. You could make this sloppy ass game, people would give you a pass. And on the top that the fact that y'all women, people would give you a pass on you being not that good, you being a little trash. Like if Angel Reese was nice, she was humble, she was cool, calm, and collected, right? Rah on the court, dog on the court, but come off the court. Oh, yes, my rebounding is great, but I definitely have to do better in my layups. I'm working on that, guys. But I'm going to hustle. I'm going to fight. I'm going to give my all. As the game goes, I'm just a rookie. I'm just in my second year, so I'm learning to trust my teammates more, yada, yada, yada. I'll be better. For my fans out there, I'll do better. I'm working. I'm going to be in that gym. Understand? She did no Caitlin Clark hate. She would be more loved, more well supported. But the fact that y'all call Caitlin Clark fans toxic, the ones who support everything, your whole league, to even get y'all in a place to where you can sign a deal right now for 1.1 or 1.2 million for the max contract players. Are you nuts? You don't know how that goes tied straight to her and her fan base? That's how y'all able to go into these negotiation rooms and make fools of yourselves, because this girl then just drove up the numbers and made y'all relevant now. For the last 2 years, she made you relevant. And this is the motherfucking thanks we get. We've made you relevant. Talking about y'all on podcasts, saying your name and shit, tweeting shit about y'all. Now people have an engagement. See, that's what I mean. Angel Reese fans are the most toxic fans out of all fans. They're the most racist fans. It's wildly proven. They're the most racist fans, the most toxic fans. Why do I say that? And you know it because they don't even come to the games. You talking about somebody doing something for some weird reason? Hold on. You talking about a fan base that's doing something for a weird reason? Let's listen to this again, because I'm about to show you who really doing shit for what fan base is really doing shit for weird reasons, bitch.
Feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. People that are coming in and watching the sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird, like we sort of had one of those particular growing pains where it's like some of the people that are
growing pains. Again, who are you?
Coming in and watching the sport and are fans of the sport feel like maybe they're there for a weird reason. And now they've found
Angel Reese fans are there for weird reasons, a multitude of them. You want me to start explaining some to you? One, she shows her body off. She sexualizes herself. She shows her ass, her tits, her inner thigh, all the way up. She shows you basically everything except for her Oreos and her lips. She just showed it all. So they could be there. A lot of her fans could be there for that. That's a fact, Jack. Not for basketball, but for that. Because she sexualizes herself, and we live in a dog-eat-dog world. It's a man's world. And then the other one is because she's unapologetically black. So for the pro-black people that don't give a fuck about basketball or nothing, when they hear a girl, especially a woman, a black woman, when a Dr. Umar or somebody like that hear a black woman say that, and they got the black women, especially black women, that goes without saying. But when the pro-black men hear, I'm unapologetically black, because that's who's really paying attention to basketball, is the men. So they just right on, sister. my own sister. So they start following her. And because she goes against Caitlin Clark, because she goes against that white girl who she lied on and said she do that to everybody else and nobody got a problem with it. She do that same thing and nobody say nothing. When she pushed that narrative that Caitlin Clark does the same thing as I did. Stalk somebody on the court after a game, walk to their face, do this. Yeah, Caitlin Clark do that. She do that too. But y'all don't say nothing about that. And black people who don't have no clue that white girl don't do nothing like that, they just side with what she just off the top. Oh, yep. So you want to talk about a fan base that's toxic as fuck and really here for weird reasons, and the numbers prove they here for weird reasons? Because online, she got engagement. Online, look how many followers she got. Online, people fight tooth and nail with you and argue with you and race bait and call you coon or monkey or whatever. They call you all kind of shit on Angel Reese's side when you go against Angel Reese. But yet, they don't show up to the games when tickets is even $10. They don't even show up to the games and sell out 6,000 seated arenas. They don't sell out her merch when she put out merch. So they're not supporting nothing. Her games don't get moved to bigger arenas for more people to come see more of the players besides just her, even the ones she playing against. She don't do that. Her fans don't do that. So that's what's so crazy is that's proof in the pudding. That's factual. The numbers don't line up with her numbers online and how much engagement her fans have online compared to her numbers on when it comes to dollar signs. So you tell me, ma'am, who's here for weird reasons? Because we here for basketball that Caitlin Clark plays. We 1,000 knocking all that bullshit, what y'all used to say, that, because men misogynists, they're misogynistic, they don't support the women. When we the main ones support y'all, the women don't watch basketball. The majority of women in this world, they don't watch basketball. You catch a woman that watch basketball, who loves basketball, and she's still in her feminine energy, you a lucky man. She don't even got to play. If she just love to watch basketball and she's still in her feminine energy, that's a hell of a woman right there. Because that's very rare, sir. Where a woman they like that football though. Football is different because it's like good girls like bad guys. Football is like bad guy sport. You running into each other, niggas running 240s and lifting 300-pound weights and running full speed. That's a fucking car crash. That's insanity. You understand? But they like that, hero shit. But again, who's the toxic fans here? Who's here for the weird reason? I just told
Sort
you
of
who.
maybe one
And
play.
I can say the same for A'ja Wilson too. I can say the same for A'ja Wilson, both of them, but damn sure Angel Reese.
Here to hyper fixate on that they feel stand.
Why you laughing, bitch? What's so funny? Because we never knew who you was? Because we never followed you? See, again, it's so funny. The weird reason. Sue Bird was around before Caitlin Clark, wasn't she? Wasn't Sue Bird damn near like the Larry Bird of the WNBA way before Caitlin Clark came around? Hello. What is she? What is this? Wasn't you the best? Wasn't you considered the best guard in the league, along with Diana Taurasi, who's also white as the snow that's about to... Who also white? Ain't Bree Stu white too? What about Sabrina Ionescu? What y'all in the league? What about Rebecca Lobo, who was even way before you hoes time? Huh? Wasn't she white too? Ain't she white too? And I'm giving you your best. I'm not even talking about the rest. The Sophie Cunningham's fine ass. Nobody even knew who the fuck Sophie Cunningham's fine ass was, so we didn't follow her because she was white and blonde hair, blue eyes, looked like a fucking supermodel. You understand me? A trophy wife. She looking like a trophy wife around this motherfucker. Abs looking lovely. You understand? Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall, a fucking supermodel. Lexi Hall, the Barbie dog. We didn't know who the fuck she was. She white as the snow too. Why didn't we know any of these other white players? Because that's what talking about the weird reason people followed her because she white. Oh, okay. Because again, if you're talking about she white and she one of the best, it's been a bunch of those. Breonna Stewart is considered one of the GOATs, basically. Some arguably, which y'all have no argument, don't nobody watch the shit. So nobody really argues who's the best women's basketball player. That was never even a thing. That wasn't even a topic until Caitlin came around. Think about that. No barbershop talk was ever, yo, hey, who y'all think the best women's basketball player of all time is, man? Who? That was never an argument ever. That's never a discussion in the barbershop. Yo, who you think is the GOAT of the women? Never. Now all of a sudden, we're talking about who GOATs and shit. Motherfucker, not you. You was never, how you in a discussion that you've been around and there's now somebody come around who we looking at like a GOAT and all of a sudden you in a discussion. Bitch, we don't know you. You ain't never did nothing noticeable. We can only put the ones we know. We don't know Bree Stu. She won 4 college championships. I didn't know that. I missed it. I would take a nap on that shit. I took a hard nap. It was a hard no. The fuck? We didn't know who Nefesi Collier was. We didn't give 2 shits who none of y'all was. To be frank. Because y'all wasn't doing it like that. Y'all good hoopers. But again, that's 8th grade talent boys-wise. That's 8th grade boys. Like Michael Porter told you. I told you even before Michael Porter said that. But I'm not as big as a fish as Michael Porter at all. I'm a very small fish in this big, large pond. But I'm glad Michael Porter said the same thing I was telling y'all. My 8th grade team will whoop them. And people, y'all probably thinking, nah, I don't know about that, Pope. Michael Porter just told you, man, what? He used to cook them. Are you kidding me? I went to that practice and was Chef Boyardee in that motherfucker. They was trying to have me put on a wig and play for them. They were trying to give me a scholarship off the top. Because they said I was a pretty boy. We could easily. Yeah, okay, anyway. But come on, man. This shit is nuts. The very person who made y'all anything. It can't be because she's white. It's been too many good white players that y'all, people like this one on the couch who nobody knows, people like even black people. You know what's crazy? Even like the black peoples like Andrea Carter or Monica McNutcase or any of them that always hate Boomba K, all of them. They even consider some of the white girls they GOATs. Imagine. They even like Breonna Stewart, like you would hear them, like they give him more than they give. I hear shit. Once Caitlin got in the league, I was hearing Bree Stu this. Bree, I'm like, who the fuck? That's why I put in my CC 22 part 1, Breonna Stu, who? Nah, 2 letters, CC. That's why I put that in my song. You knew better, you do better. Who do it better? Who? Brianna Stew. Who? Nah, 2 letters. CC. Must see TV. Shoot it from the deep deep. Wake up the woke folks sleepy. But see, these people sleepy. Wake up the woke folks sleepy. Beastie couldn't lock her down in the precinct. Hit the John Cena. Yo, you can't see me. And that's what it is, man. It's not because she white. That's the silliest. I mean, that's the most delusionalist. That's what I'm saying. They'll tell us anything. For people that don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything, though. That's for people who don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So they could tell you anything. And if you already on them kind of times, on that type of time, you're going to buy whatever they selling because you ain't really real. You'll fall for anything.
At odds with what a WNBA player is in their minds. And they passionately love that player in a way that actually just feels like it's hate being disguised.
Yeah, we hate the opponents, you fucking dummy. Welcome to sports. Who are you? Who are you? Who is she? That's called welcome to sports. Philly fans hate everybody. Cowboys. Do you know how the LA Raiders used to be? Raiders versus the Broncos or 49ers versus the Raiders? Like in a Bay Area, you know how it used to be dangerous. Give a fuck about your if it. Do you? LeBron fans are something special. Now we got Shedeur and Deion Scammers fans who are also special, toxic, ridiculous. But nobody calls them that. Nobody calls them that. Jordan fans, Kobe fans, listen, our shit is proof. Tom Brady fans, motherfucker, it really ain't no argument for real. You gonna sound stupid like the LeBron fans do when they try to argue that he better than any one of them. Now you might can have an argument after them two, but he don't even come close to them two. Jordan and Kobe, he don't even come close. So that's just idiotic. But again, nobody was coming on, oh, LeBron fans are toxic and they got an agenda. And, well, no, we actually probably did. We probably did. Then I think about it because I hated LeBron. Oh, my God, I still do. I don't like it. He disgusts me. Oh, my goodness. He disgusts me. And I'm disgusted when I hear people try to disgust him or put him in a discussion with the real goats. That really did bugs the shit out of me. Okay, so hey, I digress on that. But let's play.
Is love that they want to have against the rest of the league. And we sort of had this moment where the rest of the fans had to go like, you paid the same money for your ticket and you being here is also helpful to the sport. And that's a really difficult thing to do. They had no sort of reverence for the.
See all the cuts and the chops? So they're doing different takes. This is what I'm saying. They know what they're doing. This isn't a fluent conversation. They keep cutting and chopping, but she's still staying on par of what she's saying. So y'all doing takes?
Fact that, like, buddy, this conversation's been going on without you for years and years and years, and now you come in here and just
nod your fucking stupid ass head for, you skeleton face, Milli Vanilli, white Milli Vanilli looking, or what's the country singer, the man, you fucking Billie Jean, you can't stand Sue. You still need to be sued. And they put your silly ass on the you and your people. Hey, no, Mick. Nah, Mick talk sports. Nah. You got, oh no, we ain't gonna blame Sue Bird too. It's not her saying, no, fuck her, Mick. We denounce this. She need to get kicked out the crib. Now she's kicked out. I mean, she's been kicked out in my book, but y'all like to give her passes because she got the she two-faced. But me and Pete, we been peeped. Her a long time ago and some other peeps. You like that wordplay? Me and Pete, we been peeped. And some other peeps. Her scamming ass, her two-faced ways. We didn't peep that out a long time ago. I bet they all got it though. Ain't that weird though? How like all of the gatekeepers in a sense. Well, really not gatekeepers, but it like all of them, the best of the best, from the Becky Hammonds to the what's the other coach name? That bitch Cheryl. What's her name? Fuck, I forget her name. The Minnesota Lynx coach. Her ass, right? They were the two best coaches hating on Caitlin immediately. You got Dejanay. You got so many. Asia Wilson immediately. First player to say something. And she's the reigning MVP. And she's speaking ill will about Caitlin Clark and her height because she white immediately. You had the coach doubting Caitlin Clark's long-range three-point ability, and Christy Side somehow I want her to learn to shoot deep twos instead of deep threes. Like it's so crazy how all of them are really against this girl. To the point so much so where I'm like, CC, hey, it's over, love. It's unfortunate, but it's over, baby. Basketball is over. You're gonna be you, and you're gonna be good. And thank God you got the shine. And I'm glad. I'm listening. I'm gonna be appreciative of the time I got to see you, and because I was really one of the first to it. Honestly, that didn't make me no special type, but I was one of the first to get the covering on this like crazy because you were special. You were special, and I say was as in past tense because it's over, ladies and gentlemen. I know y'all holding on and have different beliefs. I know what I'm saying is going over your head like that. It's not over. It's not. Yeah, it's over. It's fucking over. For Caitlin Clark, it's over. Even this Olympics, I don't even think she's gonna. It's not that she's not gonna make the Olympics. I don't. The Olympics, we shall see. We shall see. Just put it that way. I wouldn't be surprised because this type of stuff right here, because Caitlin has to be aware of all of this. I know she's not tone deaf. She plays like it, but I'm sure she's not. And I can tell by the temperament of her brothers. When you see her brother and he tripping out and he tweeting shit, they watching all this shit too. When you see the mom and the daddy don't come to none of the fucking games no more, they don't come to the games. They went to all her games. They don't come to her games. Now she's living her dream. That's nuts. She's living out her dream, but it's a nightmare. Her dream has turned into a nightmare. Yeah, she made her dream come true, but she didn't know the truth behind her dream. Was that a bar? I don't know. It sounded smooth as a motherfucker, though. Man, that sounded smooth. I mean, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. But it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't know the truth behind her dream that this shit was Freddy Krueger on Elm Street. Bitches like Dejanay Spicy starring Dejanay Spicy Mustard Krueger Carrington. Yes, starring her with the long Edward Scissorhands. These bitches got playing basketball. They Edward Scissorhands on the court. trying to look cute, beauty pageant contest, wigs flying off. This is a shit show. It needs to go under. It doesn't need to come back. And I believe the owners know that. The men, the real men is like, well, enough is enough. And that's why I don't blame them. I can't blame the owners because we say the WNBA, it's not. It's the NBA. We keep saying WNBA, it's the NBA. They own this shit. They're like, we done enough. 30 years. And now we at a point to where y'all asking for way too much because of this one person. They know the real. They know the real. This one person. We're trying to get y'all another league, and y'all can do that and let other investors invest in that one player if they want to. But we have the NBA. We got Steph Curry. We got Luka. We got Giannis. We got Jokic. We got motherfuckers that we smooth, okay? With that, we don't. Y'all got Caitlyn. Say it. We're not going to win. That's not a good winning business model, okay? And for the money that y'all asking for, right? Y'all just want us to continue to keep losing. Well, we refusing to keep losing, okay? Because that's one player. And listen, that one player, we gave y'all free reign to either like her or dislike her, and you chose to dislike her. And you know what's happening since you dislike her? Basketball for women professionally will end. It will end in the United States of America. Yeah. All that head of the dog, all that shit. Y'all gonna have to take it overseas. Y'all gonna have to project bid or take it overseas. Y'all gonna have to unrivaled project, and ain't nobody gonna pay attention. It's gonna fall into the shits. And them investors is sooner than the NBA taking care of a league, instead of an Ashton Kutcher and a Gino Rama and everybody else that's invested in Unrivaled, and whoever else is invested in Project B, and you let them pay you millions out, y'all role players, millions of dollars, and no attraction is attracting, just subtraction. Oh yeah, they gonna put a plug on them shits sooner than 20, 30 years. So it ain't gonna be they're gonna say, hey, we failed. The only reason why we created these leagues and tried to move on and let y'all have, because Caitlin Clark was around. But Caitlin Clark, one thing they didn't anticipate was she is a different breed. She isn't dazzled by a bag. So the one star that y'all did get that finally became a celebrity big star, she's not willing to do something strange like that. She's willing to go white privilege route, but she's not willing to push this narrative or that narrative for us. And we tried to get her to do that. She's not willing to do 3-on-3. She's not looking to play for no fucking Saudis. She is a thoroughbred United States of American lily white girl from small town Des Moines, Iowa. She don't give a fuck about your bag. She grew up nice, comfortable all her life. That's what happens when you got good parenting. That's what can happen. Not all kids, but when you grounded, you got good parenting, you got alpha father, right, who coached football, and he in the community, and he got the boys, his sons he raising, and he got business he running, he got wife he holding down, he got, you feel me? When you got alpha pops who know how to be strong in his aura and his masculinity, right? He know how to be out without saying shit. Gotta be posted like, hey, that one time he told, hey. That nigga stood up like a mob boss. That nigga got a, hey. Shut up. He's holding down. Caitlin, shut the fuck up. Caitlin said, all right. I'm all right. Pop said, shut it up. Yeah. That's what I said. Okay, he a real one. See, I said, okay, he a real one. And he don't do too much talking. He gonna give you a little bit of words. Man, a few words. I respect it. He say, look, I know y'all beating the shit out of my daughter. I'm not about to come and act like I can't even come to these games. The look on my face, me and my wife's face, and my son's face, when you pan that camera over to us, it won't be a good look. When hey, the way she getting fouled, that's when you probably see. And listen, I'm telling you, because wife want to go to the games. Mrs. Clark wants to go to her baby's games. Let me learn y'all something. I need the big screen now. Hold on. Take them down. Take them down. I need big screen now. Because we got to talk about this. Mrs. Clark, she want to go to the games. She want to go. She turned up too. She ready to turn up. Let her been at the game, Marina Mayberry, and they all standing over. Mrs. Clark probably would have jumped out her fucking seat. I'm not saying she would have ran on the floor, but a reaction, you would have got her a reaction. Mr. Clark probably too as well. So he's the man of the situation. It's not smart for us to go to these games. Because when that camera come on us, we see that. No. It's gonna be different. It's gonna be. So he say, look, we're gonna save the whole Clark family because again, but y'all too busy trying to protect the brand. You too busy trying to protect the brand, though. This is where I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Clark, because I love your movement. But you're too busy trying to protect the brand and not protect Caitlyn. At this point, fuck the brand. You out there doing you out there talking reckless. You out there putting smut on my family name, on my family's fans. Motherfucker. And you got the nerve to target my daughter? Yeah, I'm suing the shit. We suing. See? It ain't going, I got evidence. Yeah, fuck this brand. Call me whatever you want to. I got proof. You motherfuckers targeted my baby girl. This is nuts. I will live and die. And give a shit if you buy a shoe or not. Give a fuck if I lose a fan or two. One thing I ain't gonna do is allow you to be poking her in her motherfucking eye, and I ain't said, and we gonna act like no. I've been around sports for too long. Been around basketball for too long. That ain't normal. That don't happen. I've been elbowed. I've been hit out the air. All that. I play basketball. I understand dirty, cheap shit and shit that's foul play and inbounds play. I understand. When you're knocking her upside, no, the ball way over here, you grabbing her, clawing her in, no, nigga, don't claw me in the arm when I'm coming off of trying to get off the pick and take him on a journey. No, that ain't what we do. That's not basketball. That's fighting. That's boxing ball. That's boxing ball. The fuck? We can box and ball, motherfucker. You're not just gonna do those type of things. This not cage UCF, motherfucker. And so I that's the only thing I would say, Mr. Clark, is she needs y'all at the games. And I understand. You're trying to protect the brand, but fuck all of that. But it ain't no longer that. Caitlin Clark playing basketball, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's over. So will she play in the Olympics come 2027 in the FIBA? And then the Olympics 2028, 2027 FIBA, 2028 Olympics, correct? Let me get to these super chats, man. I got two super chats. I love this. Let's get Leslie Bernardes is in the building. What position does she have on Sirius XM Starfish? Shout out to the, what is this? Does that say 50? Shout out to the $50 super chat. Appreciate it. What position does she have on Sirius XM? Lester Banana. I put it in the chat. Clarify this, because you got me thinking of fucking some fish movies and shit. What's the Nemo? Finding Nemo. True stands, man. Shout out for the $10 super chat. You were in rare form tonight, Pope. I think Caitlin Clark is done. She will never be the face of the WNBA, and it's partly her fault not for fighting the good fight. Ouchie. Ouchie. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, no, I told y'all tonight was going to be a night. I told you want to get right, get tight, because tonight was going to be a night. But I'm going to fight this time for this time, right? On a simple fact that this is what's going on in the world, where we got to start paying attention to these celebrities, man, and the powers that be. You see how they're trying to drive these narratives. I don't think this is like individual work. I don't think everybody is hating on her all at the same time without a script. Like, just individually, everybody is on the same wave. And I'm talking about all of the people who are at least somebody, the Asia Wilsons, the Bree Stews, the Deanna Taurasi's, the Van Panliff, the Andrea Carter, the Monica McNutt, the everybody, the Becky Hammond, the Cheryl Swoops, like coming from every angle possible, the double team in her face guarding her full court, soon as even in preseason, now even in practice at the USA camp. This ain't no fucking coincidence, homie. This ain't one individual each like, yeah, let's, nuh-uh. All the referees turning a blind eye to all the bullshit that goes on with Caitlin Clark. All the no calls. What? Do you think that's a coincidence? And they only started getting worse this year because it was becoming so obvious that it was only Caitlin Clark games that they refereed like that. It only Caitlin Clark games that refereed like that. And so, and my boy, hey, look, and shout out to you. This that Versace I'm smoking on. It's called a Versace pack. Shout out to them. And it smoked like, and that's probably what got me in rare. What do you say? What you say, Truth Stand? Got me in rare form. This is some clean. This is something else. Yeah, every time I start puffing on it, it was like, yeah, don't do the Versace kids. But goodness, this Versace is good. I'm gonna have to get a lot of this. My Lord. But I bullshit you not, ladies and gentlemen. I told y'all back when, but fucking, I'm telling you again. This was the beginning to an end. Friend to friend, sin to sin. It's a doggy dog world, and I'm here for the win. My Lord. It came so fast. It came and it went. All the time we invested, all the time we have spent. This was a good investment. It damn near paid my rent. Now I look at my bank account and it sort of took a dent. CC, we love you. We do. We love you, CC. And it's sad for you. Sad for you. Let me drop the link, man. I done told you what I think, man. Let me drop the link. If somebody want to come up, man, please do. More than welcome. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. You understand me? for these next 30 minutes. I got 30 more minutes, man. Hit the super chat, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, spread the love. Again, man, let's see. All right, here I am. Bye. Got him, coach. All right. Link is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. You are more than welcome. Let me get to this super chat. I got another super chat. Shout out to AB in the building. Love you, Pope. Keep shining. And it's a blinker. Shout out for the $10 super chat. Love you, AB, man. Shout out to the support. You understand me? Yes, indeed. Again, ladies and gentlemen, y'all want to come through, man, say a few things. Love to have you. Shout out to the Christmas and all that good stuff. You see, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yesterday, I was in front of my fireplace over there. That was a lovely show. Oh, let me get back to this Versace. It's I got some. Hold on. See, I would advertise. I ain't gonna advertise. No, that'll take my time. They probably make it slow. Facts, Pope. Undisputable facts. CC brought us here. Man, they be on regular planes. Yeah, sitting coach. They be getting they be having to wait in the terminals. Yeah. Cancel flights. Wait it out with the rest of us. Yeah, with the rest of us. Shout out to all y'all coming through, man. True, they are nobodies. Shout out to Rebecca. Sue Bird wasn't like that. I cooked up wild on this Pope. Hey, you did on that topic. Oh yeah. I love your video. Make sure y'all go watch BDP video on this said topic, because he did his stuff on here too. He definitely did his thing on here as well. My boy Pete is to the stage. Okay. Yeah, shout out to Pete in the building. Pete, how you feeling, man? You was listening to my rant?
Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me?
Microphone check. You good to go?
Testing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Just kidding. How you doing, Pope?
Yes, man. I'm good, man.
I'm chilling down at the beach. I'm in Tulum, and you know what? I am so chronically high right now.
Yeah.
So y'all got me on a good day, people. I don't foresee me yelling today. I'm feeling mellow. Oh man! Wow.
So what you think about what I was saying and things like that? You agree? Disagree? What's your take on everything, man?
I agree, but you know what?
Take it where you want to do.
I will tell you this. I like the channels that delve deeper, because I've always said this is bigger. What's going on when people ask, and I see a lot of comments where people say it's weird that they treat Caitlyn like this, or I wonder why they're so jealous of her. We need to be able to we need to lose the fear, because it is fear, guys. We need to lose the fear of speech, of speaking and voicing opinions, because in the past 10 years or so, maybe a little more, I'm gonna go deep. The agenda has been, there you go, Pope, you got it. The agenda has been to shut people up, because once you suppress speech, then you can suppress thought. They tell you what to think. Okay, and that's what's happened, and that has a lot to do with what you guys are seeing in the WNBA. I know a lot of people consider me a hater. Listen, again, I will praise Cece, but I will get in her ass if I think it's merited, it's warranted. Now, again, this is deep, and we got to lose that fear of speaking, of saying what needs to be said. You know what I mean? Like, for example, especially in, most CC podcasters are black. I noticed because I observed that that's my talent. I can't shoot a three to save my life, but my talent is people and reading people. And I notice that people have a little bit of a hard time sometimes opening up when the podcaster is black because they're afraid to discuss racism. They're afraid to discuss, anti-white racism. And how can you have a truly honest conversation about the WNBA unless you're willing to say, boom, what needs to be said and let the conversation go where it needs to go? We need to be able to do that. And I bring that up, honestly, not only because of the WNBA, but just it's a society plague. I mean, think about it. There's certain words you can't say and I can't say here on YouTube because we'll get censored. You'll get censored. It's your channel. You'll get censored. You'll get flagged. That goes back to what I was saying. That's how you start suppressing speech and thought. Forget it. I mean, how much more control would you like to have than to be able to tell people what to think? Because you can shut a person up with a bullet, but when you keep them alive and you shut down their capacity for thought and brainwash them to the point where they just believe certain shit, which is what's happening, by the way, then that's 4D chess. You're not playing checkers no more. That's the ultimate psyop. But anyway, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you couldn't, man, I was happy with that piece. I was happy.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to say something about Sue Bird. For everybody who's upset about Sue Bird's comments, okay, you shouldn't. I understand you're upset, but you shouldn't be surprised because, like Pope said earlier, we've been on Sue Bird's ass. We didn't need, like, I think it's the same for Pope. I didn't need, and I posted this under several videos today. I didn't need for Sue Bird to burn me by burning Cece, not even one time, because I already knew her judgment, the kind of person she was. So I knew, and I knew what her agenda was. So I didn't even need to hear her speak one word about Cece to know the direction she was going to go in when she finally did mention Cece. And I'll tell you why, guys. Like I posted earlier, how can you trust the judgment of the person who married Megan Rapinoe to begin with? That just shows you got bad judgment. Okay, right off the bat, that's a red flag for me. And for anybody who's not familiar with Megan Rapinoe, if you really want to understand where Sue's low-key passive-aggressive shade that she be doing, because she thinks she's fucking slick, but she's not. Okay, if you see it, I see it. I know the chat sees it. She low-key semi-praises Cece. Boom, that's a setup to knock her down. But anyway, for people who are not familiar with Megan Rapinoe, I don't see how you could not be, but if you are, she was a famous soccer player, Team USA. They won a few chips, I think, a few medals, rather. She was eventually forced to retire. Her team had a mutiny against her. I don't know if people know that. That's why Megan Rapinoe retired. And after she retired, Hope Solo, who's another superstar soccer player, and others came out and said it was too toxic, meaning she was too toxic because she even and her people bullied her teammates to adopt the woke feminist agenda, the anti-white agenda. And eventually they got sick of it. When you're a star, you know this, but when you're a star, your shit gets tolerated for a while. But there comes a point that many times it comes to a head, and we saw it with Antonio Brown. We saw it with Pac-Man Jones. I mean, come on. We've seen it with a couple of people. Okay, more than a couple, where the leaks finally says, nah, we good now. We good. Anyway, she was forced to retire. Subway hired her as a spokesperson and to appear in commercials. Victoria's Secret hired Megan Rapinoe also Okay, and they tried to go the feminist route, the feminist route and rebrand, and they thought it was cute to put a 400-pound black lady in a fucking bikini and a thong on the runway. They thought that shit was cute. Victoria's Secret lost billions. Okay,
Oh
because
Lord.
they said "f you" to their market, to their consumers, to their demographic that buy their stuff, and they said yes to this agenda. They lost billions. When Subway signed Megan Rapinoe, they lost some franchises, and there was a mutiny by a ton of franchises who weren't in line with her political views. They just knew she was toxic. See, it's one thing to have your political views, but to be toxic about it is a different story. That's what she was. Subway hired her early 2024. They dropped her around June. Not even 6 months, and they pulled the commercials. So where I'm going with this, guys, I'm sorry. I know I'm winding around. I'm long-winded, and I'm high today. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
come
listen.
on, Pete. Man,
Follow
nail
the
it,
yellow
nail it,
brick
man.
road.
I've been cooking, man. You gotta cook up.
Follow the yellow brick road. Anyway, those two brands alone, that just shows you what happens when people actually rebel, like they did to Jaguar, which also lost billions when they rebranded as woke, like they did to Bud Light. You know, you have to understand, this is a machine. They're not putting money first. They have to lose a certain amount before they start caring. And guess what, guys? You know, uh, the one good thing that Doge did, okay, Elon and auditing all these agencies, they uncovered and I think proved what I have been saying for a long time. Whoa, and Diva used to say this all the time too, and I think you've said it, Pope. These companies that adopt this woke agenda, oftentimes they can do that. You would think, because I see people ask, how the fuck are they willing to lose so much money doing this? You know how?
Right.
Because while they're doing that, they're subsidized by the government. The money laundering, the amount of money laundering, guys, is insane. Okay, and they
Exactly.
they put money in these fake agencies and companies, and then they funnel it out for their causes, like trans operas in Peru, studying the migration patterns of the honey badger of the deep Sahara. Bullshit. Okay, when people are starving and people are homeless, and in New York, my hometown, you got people sleeping in front of 5-star hotels, homeless all over the
Mhm.
place. Okay, but anyway, they are being paid to do this. That's why they're not worried totally about losing their consumers. They know, of course, it's a trend, but this is a big agenda, guys, and this is why I'm not hating on Cece when I say Cece is great. There's no doubt she's the needle. There's no doubt she catapulted the WNBA. She's changed some things. I mean, just the style of play alone. However, she cannot change the whole league by herself, guys. Impossible. Because another thing, all season people blamed the referees and Kathy
Well,
Engelbert.
well, let
They
me
blamed
give
Kathy
you. Hold
Engelbert
on.
for the
Well,
referee.
let me give you a little pushback on this
Yes.
right here, right quick, because now, like you said, she's not gonna be able to change the league because of the agendas, the powers that be allow to happen in the league. And again, if they wanted to change this league, she actually could, because if they wanted to find players for BS and they didn't let these narratives get spent the way they let them get spent, right? And the referees was calling the games right and Caitlin Clark going crazy. You're gonna have younger girls come up after her that's gonna try to emulate how she plays, so on and so forth, and be good. It's gonna start. I think it would have started to change if they wanted to change. It would have started to, but she not with doing and pushing the narratives that they want her to push. So I believe that's why they get at her the way they do collectively. They try to stop her at every turn she go, whether it's USA basketball, leaving her off the first year, or whether it's this year, now they double teaming her in practice and they not even showcasing nothing that she doing, so on and so forth. They always trying to tamper her down. You understand? It's like because they got some other agenda they want to push that she obviously not pushing, because I think if she was, she did the white privilege, she don't say shit, so on and so forth, which again I think it's even bigger than that. How her dad, like I was just explaining, how her dad really run the show of the Clark family. Like, she can have an agent and all of that, but Mr. Clark is Mr. fucking Clark, right? And I believe he still got a lot to say and a lot of shit, and he see what's going on behind the scenes, but now I'm like, it's at this point, it's no basketball for Caitlin Clark because she's staying grounded. I believe we got to give her some credit for that, Pete. I think she's staying grounded and not selling her soul the way people think she's selling her soul. I think she going along to get along and to try to survive.
I got a theory on that. When you finish, I got a theory.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Don't be long-winded though.
This is where okay. I'm gonna try to keep it short. This is where our paths diverge a bit, Pope, because I have a theory, and let me preface this. I am gonna preface my statement, guys. I hope to God that I am wrong. I want to be wrong about this. Okay, this is not me asserting this; it's a theory, and I hope that I'm wrong. Okay, if you notice, there's like a pattern already of CC winning an award and her fan base getting attacked right before or right after she gets that award. Okay, it's not every time, but there is a pattern that you can point to, and my theory is, what if CC knows about these attacks beforehand? Why do I say that? Because if a journalist is writing a hit piece about CC, or writing a puff piece, something flattering that praises her, the job of your agent, of CC's agent, and her PR team, sometimes they're one and the same, okay? But the job of your agent and PR team is to have the connections at the Wall Street Journal, at Forbes, at Time, at the New York Daily News, where they can call you when a piece is coming out. You know what? Steve is dropping a piece on CC. Oh, yeah? What kind of piece? It's looking a little bit like a hit piece. Just wanted to let you know, give you the heads up so you don't get caught off guard. Boom. That's how it works, guys. That's really how it works. So my point is, what if she agreed that, okay, what if they told her it needs to be this way, CC? That is the agenda. That is the narrative. We're not closing the doors at the Gamebridge to your fans, but, basically, you got to go along with the white guilt. Okay? There's going to be attacks on your fans. We're going to need you to just, take one for the team. Just consider it par for the course, the price of admission. That is possible. I think that is possible. I'm not saying it is. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, what if she knows her fan base is going to be attacked?
Let me give you a little push. Let me tell you why that wouldn't really go with them also allowing, or her also allowing them to allow these girls to attack her on the floor, to target her the way they target her. If she was going along with the go along about the fans, she would definitely okay with it. Hey, I need my calls. If she was getting her calls, if she had the Asia Wilson whistle, right, and they was treating her like something, then I would go along with that, because now that it makes sense. She don't say nothing with her fans, but everything is going good. They treat her like how NBA did Michael Jordan. They promoting her properly. They so on and so forth. It's not the rookie class that did this, and it's not, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be that if that's the case. So I wouldn't say that.
Go ahead.
No, because trust me, if she go along with certain shit, like, because that would make no sense for her. It's like, okay, so what am I getting out of it? Nothing. I'm getting abused. I'm getting you allowing these girls to abuse me on the court and then attack me off the court as well. That's a lose-lose.
You have to take it, Pope, because you're white. You have to take it because you're white and you're living on stolen land.
No, that don't make sense, Pete. I can't rock because again, that's her health. Listen, her health is wealth. Because if they accidentally hurt me, right? They accidentally in my career blind me because they got these long ass nails and you allowing them to poke me in the eye, and if a reporter asks about it, they trying to get her fired. Like none of that would exist, bro. That wouldn't happen. All of the trying to delude her game to that point, and she can't play the way she want to play. Nah, if she was to go along with, okay, we're gonna attack your fans, say they're racist. We're gonna call them the most toxic fans. We just need you to just chill, don't say nothing. All right, it's got to be a deal that's done for her then too. It can't be one-sided. It's got to come. Some good got to come with it.
You know what the other side is?
First
of all, I disagree with something that you said. I'm trying to remember, man, because I lost my train of thought. You said the physicality wouldn't exist, right? I disagree. You know why? For them, nothing would be better than to give Caitlyn a career-ending injury. Get her to mentally break to the point where she leaves the league. How do we know this? Because they did it to Candace Wiggins, and she's black. But her crime was she was straight. Okay? And I'm telling you, you know.
No, Pete. You got to peep the play on them wanting to, the NBA wanting to move away from the WNBA. And you got to understand this is the perfect time, and it aligned with, that's why all those new leagues came surfacing right when Caitlin Clark did those numbers her junior year in that championship game. That's when they Unrivaled started getting thought about. They started formulating Unrivaled, right? And investors started investing and so on and so forth. Why did they start investing? Because they seen this girl coming down the pipe and they like, okay, the WNBA was trying to get away from them for years ago, right? And so you know that too. So it's like the NBA is saying, we're trying to get away from y'all. Now here go this girl. That's why we didn't really promote this girl all through college. And she's just stormed on the scene and organically got her fan base. And now she here now. So y'all better do something, because we're not just about this new CBA. We're not just about to start paying everybody a bunch of money when we already so far in the hole, and we already been trying to get away from y'all already. What y'all best bet is to start a new league, condense the league to 3-on-3 because you don't have enough talent. And I believe all of this talk happened, right? And I believe I'm so on point with this shit.
And we agree.
And they thought Caitlin Clark was going to just go along with that league and say, hey, this is a new wave, Caitlin. We're doing this 3-on-3 full court. Woo. We're going to pay you more than what they paying you. You only going to make $60,000 your first 4 years in our league. Like, so we got this new CBA, whatever. And she turned it down, which told them, fuck you, because you're trying to fuck us up now from making this go smoothly. So we won't make it smooth for you. We're going to give you the roughest schedule in WNBA history. You're going to play the Liberty twice out the gate. You're going to play the Connecticut Sun twice out the gate. You're going to they gave her the most gruelingest schedule that a motherfucker could ever face, bro. And while she did it, she got face guard, double team, fucked up the whole time. That was the reason why, because she didn't want to agree to going to Unrivaled, and they trying to do bigger and better things and get the fuck away from the WNBA. without it being no pushback, without it being no black activist shit, Black Girls Matter. Y'all took the league away from the black women. Y'all know the black women started this league and it's 75% black, and now they want more money and all that shit. They didn't want to deal with none of that shit because they got the NBA, and they don't need none of their men in the NBA. LeBron James, none of his race baiting type antics that sometimes he like to pull, right? They don't want none of them niggas trying to, bring back the WN. No, nigga. We trying to get away from y'all, from this bullshit. We've been taking care of these hoes for so long, and now this one player come along, and we not about to start paying everybody millions of fucking dollars off of one goddamn player. So get you a new league, make that shit 3-on-3, have her sign off. She don't want to sign off, we gonna fuck her up. How about if she said no 3-on-3, we gonna start a 5-on-5 league called Project B. The Saudi got their money in it. So now we're gonna pay y'all way more money than y'all could even get in the WNBA. So y'all trying to negotiate a deal that you don't even need to negotiate because it's a new league that said they're gonna rival us all of a sudden, right? They're gonna rival us and pay y'all way more than y'all negotiating over here. So it don't even make sense for you to even do a new CBA deal when you have the new Project B saying we're gonna take the top 60 players and work it out and give y'all $2 million plus. So, and now Caitlin Clark turning that down? Oh, shit. Yeah, man, her life could be on the motherfucking line. You got to pay attention to that part.
But we seem to agree. I mean, you just said, you know what? You know, the NBA is not happy. You know, now you trying to change shit up just for one player. Yeah, I agree with that totally. That's why I said to you, whether it's by injury or mental health issues, or, you know, when skydiving and her parachute didn't open, any way they can get rid of Caitlyn, I mean, get rid of as in out of the league, I think they would be celebrating. Okay.
Yeah, that's because she don't want to go along with what they want, man. That's what I'm saying to you. If she was to sign on to Project B, or if she was to sign on to Unrivaled, if from the very beginning, when they approached her in her senior year, which they did, that's why Ice Cube offered her $5 million because he knew she turned down whatever they offered her, which I believe was about $500,000 at the time, and she turned it down, and that's why Cube did the $5 million to 10 times what they offered her, basically, and said, "I'll give you this."
Yeah, but that was the smartest thing she ever did, was to turn that down. She would have.
Yeah. Of course, turn both of them down, but it's not really. But it's like this, because even at 3-on-3, this is don't distract me off my point. My whole point is, if she would have signed up for Unrivaled, they wouldn't have gave her the schedule and been doing it the way they're doing it. I can just tell you that off the top, because she'd have been a liable asset. She's the whole reason why they even started another league, thinking that, okay, if we got her and she drawing in the viewership she drew in the 2 championship games in that championship game and her whole senior year, how she sold out everywhere she went, how she sold out a whole football stadium. So it's like, okay, so she doing these type of numbers. Yeah, we can start a new league and we will never be in the low. We will start out in the green, because it's gonna rock and roll. Like, she gonna have a season in the WNBA and then go straight to Unrivaled. Oh, the numbers would have been astronomical had that happened in that fashion. So they wouldn't have wanted to hurt her. They wouldn't have wanted to do none of that if she would have signed on from the gate.
Okay, but you know what? You could be right, but you know what I think? As far as the schedule they gave her, first of all, it was the most grueling schedule. Rebecca Lobo, I remember, said this. It was the most grueling opening schedule in about 15 years. The last time there was a schedule that bad or worse to open a season was the Washington Mystics, like 15 years ago. Okay, now you think that had to do with her turning down Unrivaled, why they gave her that schedule? I think they gave her that schedule for 2 reasons, at least, maybe more, but at least these 2 reasons. Number one, They knew she was coming with a lot of hype. They saw what happened at the draft. They saw the TV ratings. They saw how people went berserk. I mean, they just, they saw how she ended at Iowa and everything. They knew. For them to say we weren't prepared for Caitlyn is bullshit. It's always been bullshit. They knew, okay, that she was coming in with a lot of hype. They knew that. They knew she was a game changer. They wanted to, right off the bat, right out the gate, dim her shine. They gave her a schedule hoping she would look bad, hoping she would fall on her face. I've used this term before, artificial parity. Okay, they know she's better than a lot of veteran players in that league, a lot of the younger players. She's better than most of the league. Okay, they knew that. So we can't. These women won't even work out more than an hour or 2 hours a day, much less every day. They don't have a Kobe work ethic. Okay, so they knew. Okay, we got two choices. Kathy Engelbert had two choices. The owners had two choices. We either, force everybody just somehow to start upping their game and focusing on fundamentals, on clean ball, blah, blah, blah. Just
Pete, you're going all over the place now. Make the point, because I'm trying to get to what because how does that make sense? Look,
I'm saying to you, okay, here, I'll land the plane. I'll keep it short. Reason number one is they wanted her to fall on her face. That's why they gave her that.
Why would they want her to fall on her face?
The WNBA. Reason number two.
But no. You have to but why? Why? That's how that. Give me the why would they want her to fall on her face?
I just told you, because they wanted to create artificial parity. There were two choices. Either we force everybody to up their game and improve their game to match Caitlyn's, or we take the easier route, which they did, which is to just destroy one player. It's easier to destroy one than to uplift 144 others. So that's reason one, why. Artificial parity. Reason number two, why they gave her that grueling schedule, was because even though she didn't attend Olympic camp, believe you me, if they really wanted to add her, they could have added her without attending the camps. I know because it's happened before. I looked it up. Okay.
Right.
Also, they wanted to justify keeping her off the team. How do we know that I'm right about this? Because it's exactly what they did. Only I said it beforehand that they were going to use that. Oh, look at how she opened the season. She had 10 turnovers in her first game. Blah, blah, blah. You saw the narrative. Now that the Olympics passed, okay, they changed. Dawn Staley says, if I knew then what I know now, I would have added Caitlyn. Bullshit. You can say whatever you want after the fact. At the time, they wanted her to look shitty coming out of the gate so that they could say, because they knew there was going to be backlash for leaving her off. They knew it. They knew it. It didn't catch them by surprise. There was going to be massive outrage, and not just from CC fans, from networks, from fans around the world. They knew this. So that's why they adopted that narrative.
But this is what Pete, because you really glossed over everything I just laid down, which I really laid down something very special. And you're not really talking to none of those points I made. Like, yes. I think I made a whole bunch of good points on especially everything leading up to now. And you diluting it with really not saying much, really. It's like this, bro. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by this. This is what I mean. It's like, why would they just out the gate make a grueling schedule for her, and she going along with allowing them to attack her fans or go whatever you believe she's allowing them to do, or she going along with the shit too. Why would they want her to fall on her face when if they really wanted to keep this league around and afloat? Why would they want her to fall on her face? That don't make sense. You would want her to dominate and keep it going.
No, because you're wrong. I believe you're wrong. I disagree, because they want the league to maybe succeed, which I'm not even 100% convinced of that. But Why would they do this to her if they want more money, if they want the league to grow, blah, blah? Because they always wanted what Caitlyn has brought. They just didn't want it in this package. They didn't want it to be a white, heterosexual, having both parents at home, straight female. Okay, they didn't want that. You cannot have a white face as the face of the league. That is the reason why. Even if she goes along, brother, they're gonna fuck her up. I said
No, it still don't make, it just don't make sense. It don't make sense for the owners who listen. It doesn't make sense, bro. Listen,
you are higher.
no, it don't make sense for the simple fact that if I'm an owner and I want to make money, and I haven't been making no money with the black faces, they've been the face of the league, and they don't care about those faces because they really haven't. It's been Bree Stu, it's been Diana Taurasi, it's been Sue Bird. They've been the face of the league that nobody cared about, that they've been losing money on for a long time, and that's fine. Sabrina Ionescu was next in line as the new white face of the league. We knew more about Sabrina Ionescu, and they promoted her more than they did Asia Wilson. Hello. True. So it's like they promoted that white girl. Yeah. So regardless of what we talk about, okay, so my whole point is if she going along to get along, they don't make her schedule like that, and they don't allow the things that they allowed if she's going along to get along like you initially said.
Okay, then I got a question for you, my brother. First, I want to point out something, okay? And then I got a question for you. Quickly, the All-Star Game. Would you agree that the All-Star Game in 2024, not this one that just passed, the one CeCe played in, was a bigger deal than the WNBA playoffs and even the WNBA finals of that year?
Say that one more time. Hold on. We just added the guy. Lee, what's going on? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, it's the lady. Okay, yes, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear. What's going on?
Well, I did want to comment on what you're talking about, but also ask a question, and I've been waiting for the answer. And I've heard you address it, but I haven't heard the clear answer yet.
Oh,
are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Let me see. Yeah, I gotta go get my daughter. But go ahead. Snaps.
Okay. On going back just a little ways, I've talked once before to Angry and Vision, and Pope, you came up on the line as well. And I talked about how we think of business as business, but these ladies don't. It's not that they don't know business. It's not their goal. Their goal is to have a lesbian league that has brought this into significance. And these are the words of Cheryl Swoops. They're the exact words, almost quoted, of Reeves's wife, who's like the vice president or whatever she is of the Lynx. It's the words of Stewie. It has been the words of Bird. And what has happened for those who have followed this whole parallel between blacks and the LGBTQ, they were not together. And the black people were fighting for their civil rights, and they had a right, like everybody understood there was a right to do that. And the LGBT, whatever they are, could not get that right. People were looking at them like these men dressed like women, and and it just wasn't going to fly. And so the LGBTQ in the 80s started attaching to the black movement, and the black people didn't like it because they were like, man, some of us are Christians and we got this guy dressed like a woman, half naked. But eventually that merged. And so I always call them race lesbians because they're mostly black in the league, but they're mostly lesbians. And so the only way the lesbians can pull a race card is to be the black lesbians. And so what you're really seeing are lesbian leaders, and they're mainly white, but they're talking always about blacks. They're not talking about the lesbians because it will not pass. And that has been the entire and now the entire thing is the entertainment industry. Cece's not playing along. We all know that. But in that industry, there's different agendas. You look at the NBA, all these men, not all of them, but a lot of them on their off time, they're going to Diddy parties, they're dressing up as women, and they're going with another guy to a bar. And I mean, crazy things that normal people just don't do. And so there's that agenda, and it comes out in different ways. And here it's coming out that she wasn't just going to, wave the flag. She had to be the flag. And that has been a real undercurrent. And what's even going on today, and all this fighting, remember when we first started watching CC in the league? And they kept saying, well, the league was already growing and we did this already, and she just jumped on board. And they had to claim that it was them.
Exactly.
That's what's happening.
Exactly.
That's why this Unrivaled League exists, because it's an openly gay league. And they're taking what has been ruined for them with the NBA or WNBA, because CC's, they can't beat her unless they kill her, do a Kerrigan on her or something. They're not going to beat her. They were propping up Paige last year to be the WNBA spokeswoman, and she wasn't even in the league yet. So, they have to have that. And that, I believe, is what's happened and what's happening right now with freezing her out. It's not jealousy, although that's there. It's that movement. Now, the question I have for you, Pope,
gatekeeping,
is whenever you... Pardon me?
Yes? Go ahead.
I just said it's gatekeeping. Okay. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Now, the question I have for you, Pope, because we've been on the same wavelength a lot and saying it in different audiences, but I see the Unrivaled and why they did that. And they were going to take over the WNBA, and it looks like they're still trying to do it. But this Project B, it's a project that I had suggested last year, actually, where CC would start a traveling team across the world, and it would organically grow into a league, And but you have said, at least to some degree, the way I'm understanding it, is that Project B is a plan of Unrivaled.
No,
is that right?
No. It's a plan that I feel like, because Caitlin Clark will call. Caitlin Clark says she don't want to play 3-on-3. So it didn't matter how much amount of money they would offer her, basically. So it came with a new league now, Project B, which is 5-on-5, and have the dirty Saudi money involved to where they can pay these girls. Allegedly, let them tell it, reporting that they're going to be able to pay them millions upon millions of dollars, and let Sophie Cunningham, which I felt like I was very disappointed in Sophie Cunningham. Not one for signing with him, but even not disclosing how much she was getting paid. Like, she's been told not to say how much she's getting paid, which is weird, because she just said lots and lots and lots of money. Like,
No, they signed NDAs. They've signed NDAs. Every one of them gives almost the exact same scripted speech.
Yeah. So I think that was all to get Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I think. I think they all working together. It's not Unrivaled not working together no more. I think eventually Unrivaled will go by wayside. If they was to get Caitlin Clark, you'll see probably Bree Stu and them end up having to give up on Unrivaled and end up joining them.
Yeah, I think so too. But now the other thing is, if people want to play in the U.S., that's going to be their main option. And I think they'll probably go to 5-on-5, but it's going to be a very hostile, warring league. It's going to make the WNBA look like patty cake, because these women are rough.
Exactly.
And people like Lexi. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Pete.
I just want to say quickly, Lee, you're right. You're right. I said the same thing, because when even before Unrivaled started, I said, "What do you?" I was one of the people who said, "I hope CC doesn't go." Why not? Because it's not nothing to do with 3-on-3. My main concern was in a league, quote unquote league, founded by players, Lee. If there's no accountability now, where you're
Right.
overseen by the NBA and you're this entitled that you feel you can just try to end somebody else's career out of jealousy, out of racism, the whole stew of toxicity? How entitled are you going to feel in a league that you started?
Right. And everybody
Who's
has
going to hold you
ownership.
accountable? When,
Right. No, it's the
when your
club that
husband is the
Brittany.
owner.
Right. But it's the club that Brittany Griner had talked about, where you used to come and there were no people making noise and they want you to score and you could bring your computer and chill a little bit. I mean, these were his words or her words, whatever, their
Lee,
words.
where everybody knows you're gay.
What's that? What's that?
Good.
What's that?
Where everybody knows you're gay.
What's your name? Exactly.
And they're
Cheers.
always glad.
But I mean, that's
Yep.
what they want. And
Sorry,
that's
go ahead, Lee. You're cooking.
there's one other thing, Pope. I wanted to see if you caught this or not, because you're good at catching between the lines. But you know, Stephanie White, I call her Snow White, you call her Methany White, same thing. But she has allegedly her contract is over in 2025, either at the end of the season or at the end of the year. And there's been no announcement that she's renewed. And I realize the CBA is making everything crazy, but everybody else got a coach anyway. And they even got Sandy Brandello, which I'm mad about. But the only people that haven't spoken are the Fever. If they wanted her, they would have locked her up. Look at what they did with Sides. They just dragged her along. They didn't want a vacancy because that ends their leverage with anybody else. But they just kind of let her sit out there. And once the CBA, if it does get signed, which would be a miracle, but you're popping. You got to be ready for free agency and the expansion draft and the draft and whatever. So if they wanted her, they would have signed her.
Right. And
so I think they have somebody else.
No. What they have is they know they're not coming back no more. This goes back to my saying of the league is over. When they announced Unrivaled that this is the NBA saying we're getting away from the WNBA, and so the main players they already knew when they that's why they all became free agents all of a sudden, all at the same time, and everybody signed 1-year deal. Nobody signed multiple because they all knew they wasn't coming back. Not all of them, but I believe the main ones knew. They got word. Brianna Stewart, Boomba K, all of them knew. They knew what was going on, and I believe that strong-heartedly. That's why the Stephanie White, she was able to get out of a contract that she was in by shedding a few tears and being with no fine, no investigation on what do you call it? Tampering. No investigation on that. Signing DeWanna Bonner to a max contract and letting her leave out. Like all this stuff was all planned and designed. It's so clear to see. And that's why they didn't sign her to another year or two, because they knew they're not coming back after this year.
I don't know. I think there's going to be a season, but that's a good point by Lee. Lee, that's a really good point. But you know what I think, Lee? If they knew she wasn't coming back, that means the league would basically know she's not coming back. I don't think she gets the Team USA gig if she wasn't coming back. What I said after the season, Lee, was that unfortunately, and I detest Stephanie White, but I said, in their eyes, if they need to justify, they know because they read YouTube comments, they watch YouTube videos, all of them, even the front office. They all know how the fan base feels about Stephanie White. So they know there's going to be backlash if they keep her. But what happens? They get to within a game of the finals, whether I don't think any of them expected. I'm sure they were all as shocked as we were, but she did just enough, maybe in their eyes, and I guarantee you they're going to say this in some way. She did enough. She did so much with so little. She justified them bringing her back.
Okay, see, I'm disappointed in you, Pete. You know why? Because you're supposed to pay attention to the play. First of all, she is not a Christy Sides who's on a year-to-year contract and needs to prove her worth. She already done that in the WNBA. So when they got her, the way that they got her, which was janky, and she only had 1 year left, they would have signed her right then and there. Lee is right. They would have signed her in the beginning of the year. She's already proven she's a good coach and so on and so forth. She was being labeled and named that already, right? So they don't need to put her on a year-to-year leash. No, if they would have signed her, it's just like if you sign a D'Antoni or something. Right. You're not signing him to a year-to-year lease. You get him, and when you get him the way they got her, he got 1 year left. This is the last year you got, and we about to go into the CBA. I for sure want to lock D'Antoni into 3 years from the beginning of the year. So, like Lee said, why they didn't sign her from the beginning of the year?
Okay, but what was her original deal? For how many years?
No, she was under contract. She was supposed to be coaching for the Sun. She was under contract for the Sun this last year. She was supposed to be, and they let her out of her contract. So all they did was pick up her contract, I guess, if that's what Lee is saying, that they didn't sign her to a multi-year deal. I thought they signed her to a multi-year deal. But if I'm going off of what Lee's saying, they only signed her, picked up her contract she only had left.
No, to Lee and Pope, I would say, this is why I asked you, because I remember I looked this up, and I don't think there's actually any public information about the amount of years in her contract. Okay, I feel you guys sound like you don't think she has a contract beyond this season that just ended, and that they're not going to sign her. I think she gets an extension at some point during the off season. I think the reason they haven't done it yet is because they don't want to overshadow the CBA situation. Okay, they don't want to be the story. I think she gets an extension, and like I said, they're going to justify it by the fact that they got to within a game of the finals, and they didn't even have Caitlin Clark, blah blah blah, and she's got an extension already. It's already been agreed upon, in my opinion.
So do she? Okay, so that's what I'm going off of what Lee said. She sounds like she know what she's talking about. I thought they signed her to a multi-year deal from the beginning.
Deal. I don't think they signed her. Pope, what I'm saying to you is I don't think the Fever signed her, I think the Sun just edited her contract and she signed a new one. It's not like, okay, when you trade a player and you
So then that's my point. That's my point then. If they didn't sign her to a multi-year deal, that's again, that loudly screams, we know we ain't coming back. If they thought they was coming back, they would have signed her a multi-year deal, sir.
Know that, Pope. We don't know what her contract is. The amount of years I'll look it up again right now. But when I first checked it, it said there is no public information about her contract, details of her contract.
Which is weird. Okay, let me ask you this, Lee. Answer me this: is Sabrina Sabarno, whatever the lady name from New York Liberty, the coach from New York Liberty,
Sandy Brondello,
who she signed with? Has she been hired? Anybody?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Who did she who hired her?
Who hired Sandy Brondello?
Yeah.
In New York?
Man, who? Yeah, she got fired from the job. Who? If anybody hired her,
I think I
am I
think
going in and out or something?
no. I'm stoned. I think the Toronto
Is
Temple.
Lee still here? She ain't. Oh, she is here. Okay, so
Lee,
you said Toronto signed her.
yes, I think so. Let's see here.
Let me look in the chat. Chat, answer me that. Chat has.
Yes, she's the coach of the Toronto Temple.
Okay, so she's the coach of a team that doesn't even exist. Again, the league is done. Why you think the league is? This is further information. Hold on, man. Hold on. Because again, let it sizzle in your spirit when I say shit. I'm telling y'all, pay attention, man. She signed with a team that don't exist. That team don't exist. That's a team that's made up. The reason why it don't exist, because they are locked out of the league. They have not came to a negotiation. They're about to be locked out. So is that team ever going to exist? And I don't know what makes y'all think they're going to get a deal done. Tells you everything screams they're not getting a deal done. If Project B is paying players lots and lots and lots of money, way more than what they negotiate in the WNBA, and the WNBA is making a season start while the same time, well, not at the same time, but it's going to coincide with the WNBA season. They're not going to be able to do both. Which one you think they're going to choose? So even if they was to get a deal done, sir, they're not going to be able to do it. It's impossible. They made it impossible. This is how I know they all working together. That's why they stretched the beginning of the season to start in April, because they knew if whoever signed with Project B, you're going to be playing for them in April. And you ain't no way you're going to be able to make it to training camp and so on and so forth on time. And so they made it to where you have to go to Project B. Even for the seniors coming out, they made it to where you got to choose if you want to play with your team in March Madness or leave them at some point to come to the draft combine. Bro, they've made it to where you might as well just go sign with Project B like everybody else. So even if they got a deal done, it wouldn't make everybody gonna go sign with Project B if they giving out the money that they claiming they're giving out.
Pope.
So that's going to end the WNBA in itself.
You know what, Pope? You could merge Unrivaled. I mean, not merge, but you could add up all of the players, the entire roster of Unrivaled and the entire roster of Project B, and you still wouldn't have enough jobs for everybody in the WNBA. They are not going to abandon the WNBA because their activism, any way you slice it, even though they only play ball 4 months, okay, and the rest of the time they're free to podcast, to do whatever they want.
Pete, they don't care about Pete. They don't give a shit about none of the bench players. First of all, they don't give a shit about none of the players, the superstars, the so-called superstars. So if the so-called superstars, the top 60 players is what Project B want. So if they go grab the top 60 players from the WNBA, then what the hell is that going to leave them? That's not going to work for them. The WNBA is not going to even want to be in business with working with just that and Caitlin. They're not going to. No, it's not going to happen. If everybody's gone, Asia Wilson gone, and everybody goes sign with Project B, like the top players, Kelsey Plum, Paige Buckers, so on and so forth. You already got a lot of the top players, right? And they all gone. Then it's not going. And you just got Caitlin Clark and a bunch of bums.
Whoa. I disagree, my brother. I disagree. Okay. We are totally on different paths today. Oh my God. I disagree. Listen, I'm going to ask the chat. I'm going to ask the chat. What would you prefer? Would you prefer to see Asia and Paige and Dejanay and V?
It's not about. I don't know, man. No, man. You misinterpreting what I'm saying. You're not under. No. This is my show. No, because you're not gonna misinterpret what I'm saying on my show. So listen, Pete. It's not what we want to see. It's what's smart for business. It wouldn't make business sense for the NBA to stick around with just Caitlin Clark and a bunch of bums, paying them $1 million some dollars, and you don't even got the top players. They're not going to want to even be in business. If they lose their top players, they will just say fuck it and never come back. It will stay locked out. Point blank, period. That's the whole point of what I've been saying this whole time. That's what they want to do. They want to get away from the WNBA. So how you do it, they're not going to say, okay, oh, well, fuck it. Asian them left. Oh, well, we got Caitlin. Yeah, they could do that, but that's not what they want to do, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to misinterpret your words, but I'm going to respond to that. This is what I was saying to the chat and to you. You say, why would they want to stay in business? Just Caitlin and a bunch of bums. You're not thinking about what we've been saying all along. Get the dinosaurs out. Let's adopt Kate. Let's change the WNBA the way Steph changed the NBA to up-tempo defense, beautiful long threes, a lot of raining threes, okay, which did a lot for the NBA. We've been saying that's what the NBA needs, is to get rid of the old guard, the dinosaurs. You say it's just going to be Caitlin and a bunch of bums. I disagree. You got, let me cook. You got Lauren Betts coming in, AZ Fudd, Hannah Hidalgo, Hannah Stokey, even though she's not like, major, but still. You've got Olivia Miles. Okay, you got the girl, Agua Fam from Spain. You got a whole bunch of young girls. My point to you is this. To answer your question, why would they want to stick around? If I am them, I stick around and I usher in that young core, that bastion of talent that is getting ready to come into Juju, if she ever gets back to form, is another great player. Okay, I embrace them and I usher them in and I say, goodbye, old guard. And I stay in business because guess what? That new crop of young players is going to bring you more excitement than what you have now.
Pete, again, I'm disappointed because you're smarter than this. I don't know what the hell makes you think that they would go play. If Project B is paying they got more money than what the WNBA is willing to give the players, and they're able to offer them much more money. Why would they go play in the WNBA? They're going to go join the other league as well, sir. And especially if they can't get Caitlin Clark, which they can't. She already turned them down. I don't think she's going to change her mind on it. So they can't get Caitlin Clark. They're going to want the next biggest star to go throw a big bag at.
Yeah.
And that'd be Hannah Hidalgo, that'd be Betts, that'd be all them players you just named. And if they can get paid a whole bunch more money, and they got Asia Wilson over there, and Kelsey Plum, and Abu McKay, and Al Thomas, and John Quell Jones, and they end up getting Sabrina Nescu and Sophie and Kelsey Mitchell, nigga, they're going all over there too. I don't know what makes you think because Caitlin Clark is in the WNBA, they're going to say, yeah, I'll take less money because Caitlin Clark is over here.
Do you really think Project B, how successful do you think Project B is going to be? We've already seen a season of Unrivaled. Talk to me about Project B. From what you know, how successful do you project Project B becoming? And it's,
it doesn't, listen. If they're going to try, correct? So if they can't get Caitlin Clark and they're already too late, let's say they're too late into the investment is going to happen. 2026 season, there is on the way for Project B. They're going, and they didn't get Caitlin Clark. They struck out on Caitlin Clark. They're going to load up whatever money they have for Caitlin Clark, whether it's 20 million, 50 million. If they got that type of money, they're going to go sign those players you just named. They're going to spread that money right through those players. Hey, when y'all come out of college, y'all should come this route. Yeah, the WNBA, they got 500,000 for rookies. We got 5 million for rookies for the first 3 years. Who do you think they're going to, sir? They're going straight to wherever it is. Whatever it is, they're going to go play 5 million a year. Oh yeah, as compared to 500,000, it's easy work. Again, it doesn't match up. So that's how it don't matter if they be wildly successful off the gate. They're gonna try. If they too late in investments, they're gonna goddamn sure try to be successful and they ain't got Caitlin Clark, they got to do something else. And what's the something else they gonna do? Grab all them players you just named, sir. Pay Juju Watkins a shitload of money, Angel Reese, so on and so forth, and they gonna try. But my whole point is, if they throwing that type of money around and they taking those type of players from the WNBA, that's gonna make the WNBA say, no bueno. We're not even going to try to rival that, compete with that, because we no way in the world are we going to pay y'all that, and we know y'all not worth that.
So you're saying, well, I know your stance. I've known your stance for a while now. You feel W is never coming back. I feel it shouldn't, but it will. That's my stance.
Trust me, these new leagues ain't popping up out of nowhere all of a sudden. All these power players, they all play together. Trust me, they're not trying to rival each other. That's why you don't just see new basketball, NBA trying to rival NBA, and like you ain't heard that until just now recently. It's because they all run with each other. These billionaire owners, they all have business out of the country and deal with all kind of top muff billionaires from out of the country as well. And so trust and believe, sir, that all these leagues is only popping up because they're allowing them to pop up. And why they're allowing them to pop up? Because they're done with it. So that this is a way for them to get away from it. It's that's what I'm saying, Pete. You speak like you know about the powers that be in the industry and stuff like that. It's all connected. It's not a United States thing. It's way bigger than that. So them same big time them power players over from other countries, yeah, they connected with the power players over in this country too.
Oh,
so they're not just trying to start up a league to rival the NBA and the WNBA without a say from somewhere and being able to put up all this money out of nowhere, out of thin air, get the right people to put up a certain amount of money that, hey, we're not willing to put up for these women. Y'all willing to put it up? Go ahead, put it up, because we through. So yeah, come up with it. And that's why they came up with it. This shit don't just happen coincidentally just out the blue like that. It don't work like that. All of a sudden, two new professional women leagues just came about out the blue since Caitlin Clark been around.
I do agree with you. It's a fact. Any other league would have shut this shit down a long time ago. It never would have got off the ground.
Right, that's why they ain't talking that NBA shit. They did talk about it at first. They was talking about it, and LeBron James was involved. See, LeBron James had Maverick, who Maverick Carter, which is his partner, like Rich Paul. He was in business with the Saudis about a league to rival the NBA, and that shit didn't turn out right because the NBA already paying shitloads of money. Well, I mean, you ain't too much more money you can pay them, but this was a talk that they was going to be paying people an insane amount of money from the NBA, but it's too far-fetched. And so what did they do? Next Caitlin Clark, we got Caitlin Clark, it'd be easy to match the money, to put up enough money, I should say, for the women, because they ain't getting paid nothing but pennies already. So we should start with that. And if we got Caitlin Clark and it's booming, maybe that'll start to attract the men. If we can pay them almost the same amount of money, but they can travel the world and get their brand even bigger than what it is in the NBA somehow, some way, but it's not gonna work for the NBA. It'll work for WNBA. But no Caitlin Clark, ain't nothing gonna work for the women's basketball. That's why women's basketball, I say, in the next 10 years, it'll probably be no longer when it comes to the United States of America.
So in the end, what do you think Caitlin does?
Caitlin is done.
You don't think she plays again?
I think in the end because now it ain't nothing further to do. It's just too late to apologize. She didn't stand up and say something soon enough. And
I agree with that.
Hold on. Let me get up here. Hold on.
I do agree with that. She should have spoke up much sooner.
Yeah, she should have spoke up a long time ago because she should have seen this play coming. But again, when you dealing with the powers that be, what's up, son? When you dealing with the powers that be, man, ain't no telling on what type of level her and her family was threatened. Okay, like I said, I've been in the entertainment industry. I was raised in it. I done told you who my uncle was. God rest his soul. And not only him, my cousin Trina Barnett, who she was a singer, R&B singer. Death Row Records, they came all the way to Fontana where we lived. Like she better sign with us when she was in her negotiations with LaFace Records, which is Babyface, his record label back in the day, LaFace Records, and Death Row Records. She was in between on who she was gonna sign with. Yeah, they came to and gave me a letter telling me they'd do something to the family if she don't sign with them. Now I was a little kid at the time, but that's what I'm saying. It ain't no telling. So I give her a little grace in that, and I'll see she be, playing the fence a little bit with the white privilege and all of that, but I can tell that they just continue to try to knock her at every turn. So which tells me she hasn't sold out, or they would knock her at every turn. They'll take them strengths right off, and there'll be CC, everything CC. Caitlin Clark shoes will drop tomorrow. Yeah, if she was to play the card, if she was to play that hand, joining them people, yeah, Caitlin Clark's shoes would have been came out, sir. They see how big she is. They see the attraction. They see the numbers. So if she was to go along and get along, man, they would push her in a different way. You would get tired of seeing Caitlin Clark on your TV.
So you disagree totally with my theory, which is she did go along to get along. It's more than that. And what if the agreement was to let herself get bullied and pushed around, let her fan base get attacked, defer her shoe? What if she agreed to all of that? What if that was the agreement?
No, that wouldn't make sense. Again, because you're talking about my health. This ain't just something I can end my career. I would never be able to play. That makes no sense. And then if I never able to play, I'm not going to make nobody no money. I'm not going to be able to be that type of figure to where I could even push somebody I can push narratives that you would want me to push. I can't even push agenda. If I'm not playing and I'm injured and I'm out, then ain't nobody don't care about what I'm talking about. But if I'm balling out of control, Michael Jordan, the reason why Michael Jordan is still the number one basketball sneaker sold, not what they were on the court, but just because of who he was, man. Because he was something so special. That's why his shoes is the name, the Michael Jordans. Like, you got them J's, or you got the 11s, the 12s, the 13s. It's because of what he did on the court. If CC could leave that same one, and me, I believe, and that's just my belief, is Jordan sacrificed it. Pops was a blood sacrifice for him, and he's forever on. That's how he got his.
I agree.
So again, if Caitlin, and that's why everything was always peachy for him. I believe he might have did some strange little piece of change in the beginning of the time. Ain't no telling, but again, though, it is what it is. Caitlin Clark ain't doing it. They trust me. They would want to benefit off of this girl because her aura is so huge, and they would love for her to push narratives instead of them smashing her and pushing her down to where she don't look as good, and fans start to go away because we're like, oh, this is terrible. We don't like this. And you push the fans out, then you ain't going to be able to use her for what you really want to use celebrities for, because people idolize them like gods. And it's to really take their mind and spirit away off of God. And when we have her do some weird shit, like Lee was saying, how the NBA dudes be dressing like certain ways, like Russell Westbrook, I was so disappointed when I seen him wearing them crazy clothes, and then even James Harden, because they come from LA, and I'm like, look, these niggas are sold out. You putting on whatever because they paying you to put the shit on, and not even really understanding that you're gonna have people looking up kids that's fans of yours wanting to dress, thinking that's cool to dress like that and things of that nature. So you would want to use her for those things, like how you do an Asia Wilson or Angel Reese. You want to show your body off. You want to be, we want these little black girls coming up after you to think that shit hot and to chase a bag, and because we can control you if that's the case. They can't control Caitlyn because a bag isn't her thing. That's like she get her money. Don't get me fucked. She get her money, but she not chasing every bag that come her way like a lot of people do. A la Angel Reese, for example, she taking whatever deals is thrown at her. So that's what I'm saying. I don't see it in CC in that sense. I see it in like, look, I got white privilege. Okay, y'all can leave me the fuck alone. Y'all attacking my fans and so on and so forth. If I say this, say that, what is y'all doing to me? Who knows, But I just think basketball is over for Caitlyn because there will be no WNBA.
That's contradictory because you're telling me Caitlyn is done with basketball. She's not going to Project B. She's not going on.
There's no WNBA.
Okay, but she's done. You're saying that's it. She's done. Then what would be the point?
She's supposed to play
her, what would be the point of her preserving her dream in the way that you say if at the same time you're saying she's done? So what exactly is she preserving? Do you understand my point?
No, what do you know?
Say, okay, I'm not going to sacrifice my health for the narratives. Pete is wrong. Caitlyn would say, I'm not going to sacrifice my health and my body for the narratives to go along and get along like Pete suggests, because then I wouldn't be able to play. But at the same time, you're telling me she's done anyway.
Yeah, what is that? What does that mean? I'm so confused. Like, how are you putting those two?
Because you
together?
said first, right, that my theory is wrong because you feel she would never agree to.
So you think okay? So you said she agreeing. Well, again, make it make sense, please, Pete. Please make it make sense.
I'll do it quickly. At the beginning, when I first jumped on, I said, "Listen, there seems to be a pattern where every time she gets an award or a really flattering
audience." Yeah, no, I got that part. But just tell me, how is it that because I'm saying she's done and you saying, well, if she's done and she knows she's done, then why wouldn't she let them beat her up?
Exactly.
No, because again, she don't know that the WNBA is not coming back. She want them to get a deal. She hoping that they negotiate in good faith and everybody won't go to Project B. She not sharp as me. She not sharp as me and see what's. Bro, listen, a lot of y'all not sharp as me, bro. Y'all don't read between this mind of mine read between the lines. It's so easy for me to see. Like. She don't see that. I never said she knows that they're going away and never coming back. She don't know that. She's sitting back thinking Abumba K and Brianna Stu and Nafessa Collier are negotiating in good faith, and they will be back. No. I'm telling you, they ain't coming back. So ain't no contradicting. How did you even get those two even mixed up? Because just because you saying, no, I'm not saying Caitlyn she knows the league. No, I'm just smarter than her, rightfully so.
You don't think she has a clue? Really? You're sitting here saying.
No, now she do as things are playing out, yes. Yes, just like y'all starting to. A lot of y'all didn't have a clue A lot of y'all is clueless to the fact when Breonna Stewart took her ass up to ESPN and announced a new league, it went over mostly all y'all head that, oh yeah, that's a rival to the WNBA, and they allowing her to do that. That, oh, she's soliciting on a job, they allowing her to solicit and take her 30 top assets. Then okay, yeah, this league is about to go away. Sorry. It went over all your head. Again, this is simple mathematics. Nobody in no profession is allowing their employee to solicit another company that's rivaling their company without reprimanding their ass.
Unless, okay.
Unless they was colluding with them. Unless they was in on it. That's the only unless. That's the only unless. Unless we could. That's the only way you cool with that.
Or unless you just don't give a shit about them.
No. If I don't give a shit about them, that means then I'm right again. Because that means we don't give a shit because we're deucing. You can go. Bye-bye. That's my point. They don't give a shit. That's why I knew it was no longer WNBA. I said, if they don't find their ass, they don't suspend them for soliciting on the job a league called Unrivaled, professional, talking about taking their players and paying them more money than what they make in their league. If they don't do something, they in it with them. It's simple mathematics. It's not even hard. I'm not saying that they're smart. That's common fucking sense.
No, I get your reasoning. I do understand it. I just think that
the fact that you allowed a PA player, a Boomba K, to go sign with Project B, and she's the president, and you didn't kick her off the thing. That's another sign for you to be able to read the writing on the wall and say, "Oh, this is over." They in on it. They clearly in on it. So first, you got Unrivaled announcing we about to take the best players in the WNBA and pay them more money, right? Then, Katie don't want to be in that. Now you got Project B saying we here strictly to rival the WNBA. And your president of the PA, while in negotiations for the WNBA players, first one to sign with the rival league called Project B, supposed to be paying way more money than what they even negotiating for. And she goes and signs immediately, and you still will let her come in negotiations? Same thing that you did with Breonna Stewart and the Festa Collier? Sir, oh my God. This shit is so simple to see. It's like, how am I the only one to see this shit? It's over. The sink is rightfully so, though. It's not like the league was really doing something. Like the league was successful on any level before Caitlin Clark got there. So it's not, they already was in talks of deading it before Caitlin Clark got there. So again, to act like what I'm saying is impossible, it's like slap yourself, because they already was trying to get rid of the league before Caitlin Clark even came. They was tired of subsidizing the league. People like me, I didn't know why they was trying to get rid of the league. I just heard talks, they were trying to get rid of the league. But I didn't know the WNBA at the time didn't never turn over a profit. They knew that. They was like, yeah, we tired of this shit, my nigga. Yeah, we tired. Yeah, by 2020, 2018. Yeah, hey, listen, man, we've been doing this shit for 25 years already. We 10 million every year. They was also that right there. We got to start figuring out how to get out of this. And they was trying to figure it out. And when Caitlin came, y'all better start a new league. Y'all got CBA. Make sure all y'all veterans, y'all top max players, don't sign for more than 1 year. Just sign your 1 year. CBA coming up. Y'all gonna be able to freely go sign with whoever else that we creating for y'all to go sign with. But it ain't gonna be us no more. I'll be talking to the fucking wall again. I mean, I don't know. This just makes sense in my head, maybe it is me. Maybe it's me. But so far, everything I've been saying since in real time is all playing out in front of y'all face. It's all playing out. Oh, they're about to get locked out. Oh, and what y'all keep saying? If they get locked out, oh man, they're gonna lose all the momentum. What you keep hearing, and that's true. So again, what makes you think they'll lock out for 2026 and then be able to come back and recover? And no, once they lock out and you got a Project B rolling, if they lock, especially look at the timing. It ain't like they locking out and they ain't got nowhere else to play. Like how an MLB or an NFL or an NBA, if they lock out, you ain't got no, it ain't no leagues. You just another professional league, and so you just in limbo. If look at the time in a WNBA lockout, you got Unrivaled paying you more money than what and you got this Project B league paying way more money than Unrivaled and WNBA. So are you really locked out of playing basketball and making money, or are you just locked out of that league? Because if you just locked out of that league, then fuck that league if you can go to this league and make even more money. So why would you even go back? So if I go over it, so if you locked out and I'm going to this league that's paying me more money, you think they signing them to a 1-year contract? No, it's going to be multiple year contract. So now you locked into a contract while WNBA is locked out. They locked you out, and you didn't sign a multi-million-dollar deal, multi-years with this new league. Why the fuck would you ever come back even if they opened it up? It's over. And Caitlin, unfortunately, don't want to play in no other league but the WNBA. She didn't know that it'd be over. Correct. It's it. That's it. I know nobody feel you. I mean, listen, I hope I'm wrong. Pete, I hope I'm wrong.
That's a bold statement you're making, my brother.
I know, but it's really not, because the writing, I just read this time my predictions. This just writings on the wall that I know how to read. It's in a language, I guess, that y'all can't see. But I'm trying to break it down to you in layman terms to where y'all should be able to see it as I'm saying what I'm saying, because I think I'm doing a fucking fantastic job breaking this shit down bit by bit, brick by brick. Y'all just refusing to listen if you're not getting what I'm saying. Like, sheesh, this shit is so clear to see. So clear to see. Caitlin Clark come about junior year, $14 million. Oh, now we got an Unrivaled league. Senior year, oh, Ice Cube jumping out the window. We got $5 million a year for you because we see how big you are. So if Ice Cube and the big three see how big CC is money-wise, business-wise, so does every fucking body else. And so it's time to get a new league, ladies, because we've been ready to get away from you hoes since it's really since we started. It took us so long to start. You think about it. Look, we didn't ever really want to even start this shit. Look, the league NBA been around for a while by the time they started the WNBA, right? The NBA been around for quite at least 20 years, I would say, before they even started with the WNBA.
Right.
And so we really didn't even want to start a league for y'all, and we did. And we gave y'all a slogan, we got next. And y'all tanked. It was trash. It didn't work. But yet we kept y'all afloat because we making so much money hand over fist around this camp. We got billionaires and we can play with money. But so hopefully we'll get a Jordan type to come around and get us back our money. I believe that's probably what they was thinking. So somebody would come out and be a super duper star, and we'll recruit back some of these millions. And it didn't happen for 20 years. And they like by the year 20 of subsidized, they like after 200 million in the hole, 200 million plus. in the hole, they said, all right, listen, my nigga. All right, we tried. We gave them 20. You understand? So we need to start coming up with something to where that ain't asking for housing. It's a welfare league like a mother. They doing too. They want us to give them housing and cars and shit. This is before this CBA, last CBA. That's when they negotiate. We want housing. You want housing? Fuck, we look like the college dorms.
Section 8.
Like Section 8 housing.
They're gonna build some projects right next to the practice facility.
Man, straight up, bro. So that's why they stopped caring. They like, bro, they had them in the NBA arenas. That shit didn't go right. So they start putting them in junior colleges and D2s. They're not even putting them in the D1s. They putting them on buses. Great. They putting them on charter. They don't give a fuck about these. So I don't know why it's a surprise to y'all that they want to get the fuck away from them. Because they ain't been giving a fuck about them. Rightfully so. They haven't been a star for over 20 years of their existence. And when Caitlin came, they said, look, we too far in the hole, so we're going to let some of our other billionaire friends who've been wanting to own a league or teams and shit, who's a part of our go-along shit, we'll let y'all invest. Ashton Kutcher, Gino Aroma, Steve, Carmelo Anthony, y'all want to invest in a rival? Come on. Because Caitlin is a big investment. And everybody big on stocks and putting money in it. This is, you want to put your money into this. You see what the number she did. Ice Cube said, shit, she turned y'all down. I'm going to put my money in the stocks. I'm going to put more into it, you fucks. And hopefully she bite. She said, nah, I don't chase bags. That's which they knew she was different. Huh? Look, she turned down $5 million. That was it. What? She turned down $10 million for 8 games. She could have did both. She said, no, thank you. They ain't never seen that. They was like, this bitch. She not regular. Yeah, she's from Iowa.
Smart to turn down Big Three. You know, she would have got really exposed. I mean, let's be for real. She would have made Steven Jackson look like prime Kevin Garnett.
No, I don't believe that. I believe he would have been smart enough to make the rules around her. And I believe Cube would have branched it off with making a women's Big Three. I believe Cube would have been smart enough to have that first year or whatever with her against it, but he would have made it to where, opposite of basically what the WNBA did. He would have made it, and her shooting them long threes, she can get her shot up at any time. She would have got dogged offensively.
Well, he would have gave her Paige defense. The defense Paige gets on her, like no defense.
Yeah, he would have. Yeah, they would have called everything, and but it don't matter. It still would have been great business. I don't think he would have let them destroy her on a physical standpoint, like beat her up type shit. But but it would have made money. Either way, my point of it is people was putting in they stock into Caitlin after that junior year of her playing in that championship game. And this hurt that whole little March Madness run. Because even after that championship game, that's when I went back. I actually went back and watched the highlights of all the games that led up to the championship. I mean, I watched the South Carolina, but I went back and watched all her games in March Madness because I was super intrigued. But that's for a lot of us, right? And so you got all these investors. This was perfect timing for the WNBA. I can't say the NBA because it's the NBA that owns the WNBA. Them to get away, they don't need it. They don't need it. They don't need the headache. They don't need the activate. They don't need it. They don't need the gauge. They don't need it. They're like, y'all can go somewhere else. We done done it 20-some seasons. Go somewhere else. Get Caitlin Clark, and you good to go. You're gonna profit. You're gonna make money. You know, we don't need your money. We just signed. Look at the deal they just signed. And if the WNBA go away, guess who get that all them billions back? what was it, 2 billion Adam Silver gave him, 3 billion, some shit like that. They're going back to them. Huh?
Like 2.6 or something like that, 2.9 billion. The media deal.
Yeah, give my money back. Yeah, give my money back. Yeah, that's all. It's going back over here to us, and that's all good. So they don't need it. That's what I'm saying. It's more of a headache for them. And it's like we got to deal with them.
Yeah.
You know, we trying to have our off season, and now we actually got to run this like a business. Now, so you got to think about that too. That's more work for them, right? We got to run this shit out. Shit, we got to keep the lights and listen, man. We rather sell our concerts in the off season, use our gym and our facilities for that. Concerts, comedy shows, shit like that. We could sell out 17,000 seaters for some other entertainment during our off, but we don't need y'all headaches. And not even that, because we got to pay these junior colleges to let y'all to use their gym, right? Because y'all not Caitlin, so y'all not really playing in these arenas. That we got to go rent out arenas for y'all. Little bullshit ass
and negotiate with the Mohegan tribe for the Connecticut. We smoke peace pipe. Closed deal.
Yeah, man. Ain't tripping, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the yeah, I'm still at it, man. Me and Pete, we go there. I love Pete. Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the owners. Once I really took a step back and looked at it from their shoes, their perspective, we've been holding this down 20-some years. We don't even need y'all. Y'all got one player. Now y'all thinking y'all superstars because now y'all asking for superstar money. No, we okay. Y'all can go.
The product always been great. That's their favorite line, right? The product always been great. Oh.
Yes, indeed. All right, so yeah, man, I'm gonna get on up out of here, though, Pete. Man, I appreciate you coming through all the time, man, like you do, and break down some of these. I see Tina Hay in the building. Oh, Tina Hay is in the building. Oh, the little country piece. She came in. She can't stay away. Tina Hay, I see you can't stay away, huh, baby? Yeah, come through. I like it when you do.
Strays. I caught a couple of strays already from Tina.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah, she probably in the chat cutting up. Yeah, I think she attracted to you, Pete. I think she likes your manly mannerisms. You know what I mean? She want to fly you out, Pete. She really want to fly you out. Tina, just fly him out. Just say, why y'all girls gotta act like that? You gotta act snotty first.
I got
like you don't really want it. Knowing they be attracted. She be attracted when Pete be talking that shit. Oh, he pissed me out, but I like his voice. I like his accent.
Poop, you got me crying tonight.
She like your accent, Pete. She's like, I wonder is he Dominican or is he Cuban? Or is he...
Alejandro.
Yeah. Is he from the Hispanic tribe? Is he? Yeah. Where you at, Tina? Come on up, girl. No, I'm about to go, but this was fun, man. This was fun. I'm out of here. Appreciate everybody rocking out, man. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, share everything. Peace and love.
Man. Have a good night, buddy.
You too, man.
Good night to everybody in the chat.